Hello and welcome to the Super Basement Bro Show. My name is Connor and I'm joined by my co-hosts Hasten, Parker, and Tanner. And right as we start, Tanner's freezes
frozen
again.
Oh my gosh, no.
All good, we'll just roll with it. But Tanner's going to fix his camera. Today, we are going to be doing another tier maker episode. And we are doing the video game controllers for today. This is going to be kind of a tough one. It's going to be all of Nintendo's consoles controllers. There's Tanner, he's back. Xbox's controllers and PlayStation's controllers. If you've seen any of our previous tier maker episodes, basically how we do it, we each get one triple S rank that we can pick. That's it. We get one unanimous one between the four of us, and all other ones we will slot accordingly. And if there is no triple S tiers, then there's no triple S tiers. We'll have to see as we go. But let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's start. Should we start from the bottom? Start with Xbox and work our way up? What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're all most familiar with Xbox, I would say. So
Yeah, let's do it. All right.
They're the obvious
The
ones.
Series X controller is how we're going to start. Which, if you ask me, pound for pound, this might be the best one to start with. Just the best
I think
controller
it
Is it
overall.
specifically the X one?
It's
yeah,
specifically
it's
the X.
Series X.
Oh, they don't have
Series
the
X
Xbox
best.
One. So which one's better between the two? The original or the one, Xbox X?
X.
Tanner
X,
doesn't
for
like
sure.
the Series X one for some reason.
Well, because the
Series
share
X one
button.
is so much better. Okay,
Yeah, but
besides
you
share
don't
that,
button's
need to.
stupid.
Everything else about it is better.
I literally click
Yeah.
it accidentally all the time.
But it just
Yeah,
adds a
that is
feature.
annoying.
That's all it does.
The share button, I will say, does annoy
instead
me
of one
as well.
button, you can click. Or
But-
instead of two buttons, you can click one.
But it's got better triggers, better buttons, better
Yeah.
D-pad.
Better grip.
look
It
at this.
has
This
like
is
the grip on the
It has
back
the
too.
tactical grip. It has the tax grip on it.
Yeah, which is nice.
This is the specifically not the Xbox One, but this. What did they do after that? The Xbox One S.
There
They
was
changed them.
Well, there was the Xbox One, then there was the Xbox One X. But the Series X one, I have it right here actually.
It's all dusty.
Mine's all wrapped up in cords. But the
I also have
yeah, there it is. Look at that thing. Hey, we can all show off our
Ah.
Series X controllers. I've got to say, I think that the Series X controller overall, I think is the best controller. I'm just gonna say it already. I know it's
Gives
funny
you,
that-
still gives you that option for batteries, which actually I don't hate.
yeah.
I think they should eventually the next controller should be just lithium powered, but it's not a bad thing to have the option for batteries.
That's the thing that I've realized is at first when they announced the Series X, I was very disappointed that it was going to be batteries again. But as it's gone on, I've realized, especially after you're back, Tanner, you're good.
Yay.
After using the PlayStation 5 controller extensively, I realize how nice it is to have the battery option because it is so annoying having the PS5 controller go out in 4 hours. That thing's battery life is pretty terrible. And so,
It
and
is.
granted, it has, all the extra cool features, which we'll get to when we get to that one. But at the end of the day, it's just annoying having to constantly charge that thing. I like having the battery pack for the Xbox controller. And then also you can plug it in if you want. You can have a wired controller, or you can get the like what I do, which is the rechargeable batteries. And so the batteries aren't even an issue for me.
This would go in my triple S tier if we don't all unanimously agree on it.
Yeah, I would
I
think the
definitely.
same.
Yeah. that's
Should we
easy.
put it at top of A
Yeah.
for now, and then we can we'll save our triple S's for the end?
Yes.
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
be a unanimous S, because
Well, we only get one of those,
Definitely.
so do we want to agree on this one?
yeah, because there's nothing else.
Yeah, I mean,
in my
I vote
opinion.
for it. So
This is the unanimous one.
all in favor
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
of the unanimous Series X controller.
Yes.
Triple
Indeed.
S. There we go. There's our first triple S. Awesome. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to the next one, which is, I believe this is the Duke, right? This is the original Xbox controller.
The next one over
The
is
Duke's the next one, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. What's this one
is
then?
just like, I think it's the revamped Duke, so it's like the smaller version of the Duke.
Okay.
Is this not the original?
No,
It-
I've never used that one. I've only
Yeah, me
used the
neither.
Duke.
Yeah, the
So I
Duke
would
is next
probably
after this one.
just- I mean, the Duke sucks. So
The Duke was the Duke the original? I thought they made the Duke after, Or no.
I can't remember. I think the Duke was the original because it's so much bigger.
Yeah, the Duke
They
was
made
the
this next one's
original.
for a
'Cause
smaller.
we definitely had slim controllers when we had our Xbox, like smaller ones.
Yeah, this
We
one
had a
looks
Duke.
smaller. This one, I'll just, for me, I would put it in just a category of I don't know, because I'm not really familiar with this controller honestly that much.
Yeah.
Should we just
The start select button is really obnoxious. It's the white and black button.
Yeah,
in the
those
corner.
are. It's a weird way to put it.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible.
You
That is
remember
terrible positioning. Yeah, I do not like that at all.
It's like where your hand. You have to like move your whole.
that?
thumb
But
over
you
the
could
street
totally accidentally press that. Like if you're
Yeah.
holding your. Just...
Yeah, that's bad design.
Same with the Duke. The Duke does the same thing, but on the top.
Well,
Should
I think the
we-
Duke
I would
has it on
say-
the very bottom there.
Should we change?
Yeah, but they also have it at the top. If you look at that above the Y and B.
Do you guys want to change
Oh,
the
they
F
do.
category to just
Duke.
we don't care, and
I
then
don't know.
change E to F?
So
Duke
F is-
level.
So F is Duke.
So we're putting the the revamped Duke,
The bottom tiers don't care, which
In-
is just
in
like
don't care.
whatever.
and the Duke is F.
Wait, so the revamped Xbox One is in don't care.
That's what I put. I
Yeah.
never
Apparently.
used it.
All right,
Yeah. Don't
Connor,
care.
you got it.
Yep. Put it in.
360.
Oh wait, we still got to do the Duke. Wait. Oh, sorry. Where did we put the Duke?
The Duke is
We
in
said
Duke
F.
tier, which
Well,
is
I
the
thought-
lowest tier. Besides, don't know.
I just have it as F on my end.
That's
I
what
didn't
I
do
so
it.
did.
F.
Yeah,
Okay. You guys think it's F though?
I think
I would put it in D.
it's the worst.
I really
It's
think
probably the
it's a
worst
bad.
controller
It's a bad controller.
yeah. Overall,
I
I'd agree,
agree
that's
it's a
probably the
bad
worst.
controller, but it's classic. That's the only benefit I would give it is that it's you recognize
Sure,
like
sure, yeah.
everyone knows the Duke.
That maybe makes it top F. Like it doesn't make it better. It's
I
still
would-
iconic.
Terrible. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it is
fit your
bad. I would
hands,
put
it's-
it in D personally, but if you guys are all Fs, then it's F.
There's nothing that about it that is redeeming to me.
I think the
Yeah.
redeeming thing for
Yeah.
me is just that it's classic. I think it.
Nostalgic, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it
But
looks
that's a lot. That's the same with all of these.
It looks
controllers,
cool.
Yeah, almost every controller on here. I mean, there's some random ones, but
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
R.I.P.
360.
R.I.p. Duke. I'm sorry. I tried to
though.
stand up for
360
you.
is an S tier.
360,
Moving on.
baby.
S tier.
Here's what I'll say.
Tier.
This was originally my favorite controller back in the
I mean,
360 days.
With Xbox, I think all of us like the Xbox controller as it's adapted throughout the generations has just gotten better.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, I think we base it off of
You know.
now. I would put the 360 a B.
Yeah, now if
it's
you're
gotta
basing
be
off of
A at
now, it
least.
would be like B.
I'd say
Now it's a B.
Now it's a B for sure.
oh,
Like if you're judging it
second
now,
best
like if
controller.
you picked up that controller now to use it, it's
It's
a B.
definitely not the second best controller. No way.
I mean, it's maybe
Yeah.
below the
PS5
DualSense.
controller is the second best.
I'd rather use
Yeah,
the
it's below the
DualSense and
Yeah.
the Switch Pro controller.
And
Okay,
don't
okay, yeah, you're
forget
right.
don't forget the GameCube controller too.
And well, GameCube for some.
We'll get to that.
I don't know.
but-
I see. I'd still say 360 was the best controller until Xbox.
It was, but it's been outbeaten by so many.
But we're basing it off of now.
Well, I think
Like,
the ones it's
what
been beaten
controllers are
by
the
is
best
Pro
from now.
controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xbox controller, DualSense, and Pro controller are better. That means it's at least an A. 'Cause those are gonna probably S tier,
Mm,
right? Pro controller's probably gonna be S.
Well, here's
no,
the thing.
but A tier is like the NES controller.
Someone can save it.
No,
Like later on,
not
if
a good
Tanner
controller. It's
Tanner,
just
you could
nostalgia.
save it potentially later on and
No, but it's
rank
a
it
great
up to your
controller.
triple S.
That's true. Oh, that's true. I forgot we get
Because the thing is we
All right.
I don't know if you would even use it for anything else. So we could just put it where it would go right now, which it sounds like it would be B, but you might be able to save it if you decide to.
Right. Okay. Did you guys all say B then?
I said B. Yeah.
I say B, but
Yeah.
B.
B.
so
As of now,
surprised you
here's the
guys
thing.
have-
It would be an A. It was an A back in the day. But now when you hold it, it feels like plastic. It feels like a
Compared
toy.
to the new one.
compared
Sure,
to
I mean,
the
now-
Series X and stuff.
Now the main problem with it is the battery pack, in my opinion. Because
Mm.
this one, it's so smooth on the back.
Yeah.
You know, you can just hold
Mhm.
it. The other one when you're holding it, it's like your fingers are stuck right here.
The 360 controller has a massive flaw. Now that they've gotten older, is the battery packs just disconnect. They don't.
Yeah.
The connectors.
That's
stay,
true.
And it sucks.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
also the home button. One thing I hear, let's talk good about the 360 controller for a second, because it deserves some love. Because I will say that the pressing the home button on the 360 controller was cool back in the day, especially how it let you know which player you were, player 1, player 2,
that
player
was
3,
awesome.
4.
Yeah,
Is
that's
there any consoles that have done that?
I will
Sense?
say something we
Wii-
didn't mention.
Yeah, that's true. Wii has, yeah.
The original Xbox, was it the first controller to do joysticks in this layout? Like this and then like this? 'Cause
GameCube.
if you look at
pretty
every
much
other
had
console,
that. GameCube had
but
that.
Yeah, GameCube had it, but GameCube, let's be
But it
real,
had a
nobody used the
C-stick. It
C-stick
was
wasn't
slightly
actually
different.
used as
Yeah.
a like controlling
Joystick.
the camera. That wasn't really a thing yet.
This
as
next
much.
controller has the worst layout I've ever seen.
Real fast though, I will say I actually just remembered. I think ironically every console in the 360 generation did the player thing, because now I'm remembering the PS3 also had a little light bar, 4 little lights, just like the Wii, that let you know which player you were.
Oh
So-
yeah, it
Oh
did.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Xbox
I
had the
remember on
circles.
the front.
Yeah, so that's
It has
weird.
squares.
Yeah. So it's weird that it's like, did they just drop that feature for consoles going forward after the 360 generation?
Well,
it
yeah,
seems
they
like?
basically dropped multiplayer games.
True.
The
Yeah.
multiplayer
Local.
games
Yeah.
just went
That's a
away,
good point.
so-
That's actually
Yeah,
a great
that's
point.
true.
That's probably why that's
PS4
gone.
not
now.
have
Co-op, yeah.
I don't think the PS4 has it. No, I think it was just Wii, PS3, and 360. I guess does the Switch have it?
Switch has it. Switch has it.
Yes.
Switch has it. Okay, and that makes
Classic,
sense because
has
Nintendo.
party games.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes sense.
Although their controller sucks.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that.
Hit
We
All right.
can't hear.
us with the next one, Parker. Do you know this one?
Parker, do you even know what that is?
See the image like that well.
Like the Wii U Pro.
This is the Wii
Yeah,
U Pro
That's what
controller.
that's what
yeah.
it looked like to me. Yeah, but
But that
Jeez.
what I was seeing, I was looking at it, and that layout seems like my thumbs would get tired so quickly. I don't
It's-
know. I haven't played on it. I'm sure you guys have.
It's not great.
But that looks terrible.
Yeah,
Both the joysticks are at the top.
One of
Yeah.
the most important things
That's
for
weird.
me, joystick placement when it comes to controllers. And Nintendo just had to be different with the Wii U Pro controller. They're like, let's put the joysticks, both of them, at the top.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That is not good.
mm.
So you literally have to you're up here
You have to reach down
can
instead of
see.
up.
and you have to reach
your thumb.
down.
Yeah.
Like so
I
you're
do
like,
not
oh
like that,
down. Oh gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
That's like a classic
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Or Wii U.
move.
That is
Yeah.
horrible.
Or Wii
I'll
U,
say-
dude. They didn't even have a good controller.
F tier.
Now here's the thing. No, in defense of this controller, I will say though, is that it feels
to
good
the-
to hold. It like the way you kind of the way your hands wrap around, a Series X controller or something like that. It feels good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah. But the
Your hands wrap around.
yeah, the way they wrap around it, it feels so good.
A
but
Wii-
the,
a Wii joystick.
The joysticks themselves is the worst part of it. Otherwise, like it does have a little bit of a shiny kind of plasticky feel, kind of like the Wii U gamepad had.
It had that Wii U. Yeah, the Wii U is like that. In
Yeah.
general.
But otherwise, I don't think it's terrible,
true.
but I don't think
I'd
it's
say D. Then
to me it would be like a C. I think it's like a C. It's not bad.
it's
It's just
pretty
not good though.
no, because that's like average.
I wouldn't
yeah.
use it. You have to look at it in a lineup of other controllers. Like, how far down would you pick it? You know what I mean? Like, if all the other controllers are getting picked by other kids, oh, I want this one, I want this one, and then like the Wii U one's left, are you gonna take it over some other ones?
No,
Probably
I mean
not.
that's a good point, but at the same time, this would probably, looking at the controllers that there are, this would probably be in the middle for me somewhere. Like I would probably
Man, I don't know.
because I would definitely pick this. I don't want to have to go through the entire list, but yeah, I would pick this over.
Honestly, out of all
Quite a
the
few. It would be, like,
Nintendo ones,
low C
sure.
for me.
Like, when it comes to Nintendo, it's one of the better ones because Nintendo just sucks at controllers.
It depends on
Like the third best
the Nintendo system. We'll get to it though.
Yeah.
But all right,
I
what do you
would
guys
say-
vote?
I've never used it, so I don't know if my input should be very useful. But to me,
Hmm.
using that controller, I think it'd have to be like a D.
What about you, Tanner and Parker?
The
I'd
thing
say
is
D.
the Wii U is it had the Wii U gamepad, player one, and then you could also use Wii controllers.
Does the Wii U
so
gamepad
it's
have
like,
the
why-
same layout?
Yeah,
It
but
does
was different
technically,
because
but the
of
Wii,
its size.
yeah, it was bigger. It didn't.
It just felt.
It wasn't
different.
as noticeable. I don't know why. That's
No.
true. I didn't think about that. It technically does have the joysticks at the top, but it's not weird.
It's the size of the Wii U gamepad hid a lot of its insecurities.
Yeah,
With this one,
I
it's like they took that exact controller and put it small, and it's like ew.
it made it obvious like how weird it was.
I don't know,
you
like the fact that you could use Wii controllers. I remember we had this controller and we never used it when we would play the Wii U, which was like what, once a year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would say C, but it sounds like we're going D because you guys are all D, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Wii U Pro Controller. I'm sorry, I tried to fight for you.
oh, okay, yeah, no, I agree. Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. All right,
Alright,
hit us with
A
it.
tier. Come on, guys. Wii controller.
Wii controller.
The Wiimote and Nunchuck, which I love. I love that Nintendo had to be super different and
So
made this thing.
classic.
This is one where they went different and it worked.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
It
Yeah,
worked
I
so
love
well
the
for the
Wii
system
controller.
and the generation, with all the motion controls. It was literally like how many, like 10 years ahead of its time.
Here's what
It was the only console that did motion control correctly.
in a great way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like no other console did it. in
Well,
a good
more
way.
importantly, I would
Ever.
say too is that this controller is so important to video games in general because guess what? Everyone knew how to use it, including your grandma.
Because there's literally
It's
an A button.
well,
Swing
it's
a baseball bat.
It's literally a remote. They know how they TV remotes, right? That's why Nintendo did it this way. Is because they were smart. They were like, oh, what does everyone know how to use? TV remotes. Let's make the Wiimote. That's why
Does people know how to use nunchucks?
nunchucks. People love nunchucks. They use them every day, and so they combined them.
Let's
Nintendo's
connect it to the
genius.
Wii remote.
But straight up though, it's like it's really a genius design from that front, and that's why the Wii was so marketable and so successful sales wise, and why it was one of the highest selling consoles of all time. Is just because, like, we saw it. I mean, Grandma had one. Everyone had one. It was like ubiquitous. But this is a classic controller to
Generational.
me. This is an A for me.
You have to give it props because this is the Joy-Con done right, in my opinion. Which is Joy-Cons are, what's the word? Like they can be used in different ways. Like the Wii remote, you can use it like a controller, then you can turn it sideways, then you can put it in a wheel, and you can put it in a gun. You know, it's what
Yeah.
the Joy-Con wishes it could be. You know,
Joy-Con's just too small. It's a
And
bigger
it's like-
version of the Joy-Con.
that was classic where you would be playing the Wii, and it was like, oh, playing New Super Mario Bros. Disconnect the nunchuck, turn it to the side. Oh, I'm playing a
Yeah,
aim game, so I put it in the gun thing, and then you have to aim it.
yeah.
You know, there were so many
That's a
different
great
ways
point.
to play with it.
Like the Joy-Cons, like you're saying, this was a very versatile controller in the sense that it's like
Versatile. There you go.
tons of different ways to utilize it. Because like I think about it from a Smash Bros. Brawl perspective, the Wii remote and nunchuck was always actually my preferred method with the Wii, which is weird because I know you had the option of the GameCube controller. You could either do it sideways, you could do the classic controller or pro controller, but I actually always preferred the Wiimote and nunchuck for whatever reason. Like that's how I remember playing Brawl. When I hold that controller, I can actually remember you know,
Yeah.
pressing
You
Z
got that stick.
for the
You got
shield and
stick.
yeah, and it's
You got that range.
and then you press 1 or 2
Hold
to
it with-
emote. I remember you press down on those and emote.
Then you're like trying to play at night without your parents knowing, and you click Captain Falcon, and he's like,
Yeah.
with the remote.
Oh yeah, that was a great feature too. That's actually a great thing to shout out is the in like
Yeah, they
sound
would
box, the
come
sound
out of
box
the
in the
controller.
controller, which I know that like PlayStation does that a lot too, but there's something about it that was kind of like almost cute with Nintendo because they would do it
And
where
it was
it's like
bass boosted. and
yeah, it was like
barely
base. Yeah,
played.
it was like how memes are like blown out of
Come on.
speaker memes now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or it's just like ah! Like super loud. Like I
And it'd
remember,
be like in the randomest moment.
yeah, I remember like Wolf would say something really cool. Like what he say? He's like playtime's over, Star Fox,"
Gamma!
or something.
Yeah,
like that when he
play
pressed-
time. But we you couldn't hear it because it was so bass.
Yeah, it was just
boosted.
like,
It just sounded like,
yeah.
and you were like, what did he say?
what the freak did he just say? Yeah, this is an easy A for me. What about you guys?
I say
Yeah, A,
A.
definitely.
Let's
This is
go.
controversial,
Possibly
right?
yes.
Wait. This is controversial. For nostalgic reasons, this is such a good controller, but it hasn't aged well at all, in my opinion. Like, as controllers have gone on, it has not aged well.
See, I actually think the opposite in some ways.
That's
Where
I
what
think it's
I
a
was
weird one because
Yeah.
I think as a controller goes, of course, it's a terrible controller. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, as a
for
controller,
nowadays games. But for the
Right.
Wii, it's hard to compare because
it's so
like
different.
the Wii's not on. There's no games on Wii that are on other consoles.
Yeah,
Like you played the
Yeah.
games on. So it's like for the Wii, it's
It was
the best
perfect.
controller,
yeah,
and nothing could be close.
yeah. That's a great point.
Like,
And-
in hindsight now, going back and playing Wii games, if I had the choice to use a GameCube controller, I probably would for everything.
What if
Like,
you
every
want to play
single
like
game,
what if
I
you want to
would.
play like Wii Sports?
Well, yeah, but there's those select games where I can't.
I think
I
a
get
lot of the
that.
games
Like,
are
I
like
have
that, aren't
to
they?
use
Though.
I will
Motion.
say,
yeah, there's a lot of Wii games that are emotional.
to Tanner's point, I will say it is one of the most annoying things having to use the Wii controller to navigate the Wii U or the Wii menu. Just like,
It's like bouncing
Oh,
around.
yeah, I hate it
Trying to
because it's
play
like
a GameCube game.
I'm trying to. Well, you have
I
to
just
because
wanna-
you also have to have the motion sensor. You're like trying to use. I'm trying to play freaking
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine or something on the Wii, and I have to freaking go find the motion sensor, make sure it's lined up, like try to
Yeah.
find the sensor. I'm like, where the
Yes,
frick
yeah,
is it?
setting up
And
the-
my
And
hands
there's,
like
like,
the
the one
hand
at
on the screen's like
Grandma's-
over here for some reason.
There's like the one at Grandma's house where you have to literally turn behind you.
Yeah, yeah, it's like broken for some reason. You have to like point the opposite way.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
it's,
that
Yeah,
one.
that's
It's like
right.
what
It's a
the
complete
frick?
joke.
It's not over there.
It makes no sense.
yeah, it is kind of finicky that way sometimes, especially on the
motions,
menus. But also, though, with the attachments, they had the Wii Motion Plus. When they came out with that, that was a game changer in the sense that it
Yeah.
like they came out, I think, with Skyward Sword or maybe Wii Sports Resort, but like that helped a ton in stabilizing that controller. And the future ones, they just built it right into the controller. So it used to be like an attachment, but then if you got controllers after like 2010 or something, it
Yeah.
was just like already built in, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, good A.
I mean, you all said A, so it's definitely got to be A. I would
Yeah.
probably say A.
All right, Parker, do you know what this next one is, or
Why am I doing all
It's
this?
the
I
Wii
think it's
Classic.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wii Classic controller. How do you guys feel about
Goated.
this
I
one?
remember having this, but why? What is it?
It's so
Well,
good for GoldenEye.
Yeah, I was gonna
Gold
say
one.
we had the golden one for GoldenEye, which was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, there was two versions. There was two versions of this. One had the handles and one didn't. One was just like a flat paddle, and then the other ones had the handles. You guys remember that?
Handles.
Like like grips,
Yeah,
you know,
I
like a
think I
normal
remember.
controller.
I think I
Really?
remember.
Yeah, there was
I
two
don't
versions, which was
I think I
weird.
remember.
Yeah, the flat paddle
out.
one's the most memorable, I think, but
I
I'm
don't
pretty sure this-
I remember this controller, but I never used it. So
it's
Oh!
okay.
Yeah, the one with the handles. Did we have that one?
Like, why would you use
think we
this
had
when you
both.
could just
Yeah, we
use
had
the
both.
normal the Wii controller?
Well, because it was for more hardcore stuff, or like playing platformers, even like
playing Call of Duty.
Playing-
on
yeah.
on the Wii.
Yeah.
Playing Call of Duty on Wii.
Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. Well, no,
No, no,
legit
I
though,
was
like
gonna say, when you would
GoldenEye, it's
play-
like that's kind of what it
Right.
was made for.
And like WiiWare, when they do the
Yeah,
old
WiiWare.
games.
Hmm.
That was I have distinct memories of always using that for like for Mario Bros 3.
Yep.
Yeah, you know
I
what I
think-
mean. Like the old games, you played those.
Yeah. I don't think it was required, but I do remember it was definitely ideal. That was the best way to play
Oh, yeah.
those games for sure.
Trying to play those with the Wii remote and the nunchuck. Like,
Yeah,
what?
I don't even know if they allowed you to play it with the nunchuck. I think you had to
You
turn
had to
the
play it
Wii
sideways.
Sideways, yeah.
At least, and
Which
even
was
that's
weird.
uncomfortable and awkward.
It is weird that Nintendo had that where they required certain setups. They still do that, I think, actually, with Joy-Cons. Like
still do that,
Super
yeah.
Mario Party, you can only play with sideways Joy-Cons. You can't play with two.
Is
weird- so
is
weird.
the Wii the reason you guys navigate with the D-pad? You think? Because I never really played the Wii like a ton, and it was like
Hmm.
you were forced to navigate with the D-pad on the Wii.
Possibly,
Good
but
question.
I
actually. That
think
might
it's
be.
I think it's
There was
probably
no
more
joystick.
so that we grew up with like the NES. I think, but maybe
Yeah, that's,
Oh, that's
true.
true. I guess
Older
the NES does use
consoles.
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
started
bad
on
for
360. I started on GameCube 360, so like I just used
Yeah.
the with joysticks.
the joysticks. So
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
that we grew up with the older systems in general, and so you had to use the D-pad. But yeah, I'm sure
I guess
we
I started
used
with
Nintendo in
PlayStation
general.
1, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
And
the
that one-
bad news is I think it has to do with joystick drift. No joke. I think that's the reason I use D-pad. It's just because joysticks always have drift or some stupid shit. And so I'm
Well,
just like,
or-
okay, I'm just gonna use the.
And sometimes it's hard where if you're like trying to navigate a keyboard, you know,
to
to
a
type in
specific
information, it's
spot.
like
oh yeah, and it
I
just,
hate
goes
like
past
using the
it.
joystick and it's like going too fast, like trying to go diagonal or something.
Right.
It's like with the D-pad, it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's just
more
easier to-
precise. Just it's like Tetris, you know.
You know the exact amount of clicks you can click. And...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the clicks. It's the tactile feel of it. I think that helps. But I would personally say like B for this. It's a good controller, but it's not like amazing.
It's good for classic.
Let's say C.
It's not good for modern games. I will say.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know where to place it.
Yeah, I would
just
be fine with
average.
C. I'd be
C.
good with C actually too. If we did C, we'd literally have a
Man, I don't know.
controller in every category, which would be kind of cool so far.
You have to look at it like as a whole, because as far as classic controllers go, like if once we start ranking those, classic controllers were great for the time, but now they're not.
Yeah,
And this
it
kind
is.
of falls into that where it's like, would I play any Wii game that is a Wii specific game with that controller? No. I'd play classic games. It's perfect for playing classic games, like playing new like Mario Bros.
See,
and
but
stuff.
I don't know.
you
That
know?
gets hard because like once you get like to the NES controller, wouldn't you want to use that for NES games? I feel like
Exactly
that's
over
the thing.
this.
So it's like
over this Wii
kind of
one.
depends on what it's used for.
Yeah,
For this I would say it
It's like
compared
honestly,
to the Wii
like
controller.
I can't rank this one too high. Like I
No.
would honestly say this
Oh,
has to be
definitely
like
not.
D tier.
but the
I
thing
would
is,
say probably
Definitely
D2,
not
but
D though,
that's
because
what
it's not a
I-
bad controller.
yeah, that's the thing. This is why it's hard though,
but
is
it's also
because
not great.
we have to take into account two different things, which is hard because we have to take into account it was good for what it was, kind of like we did with the Wii controller, where it's like the Wiimote and nunchuck would be terrible to play like modern Call of Duty on or something, you know. But it's like for its purpose, it was good, and so like this controller's purpose was to serve those like WiiWare games and stuff like that, and for that purpose, I think it would be considered good. You know, not amazing, but it was
But
solid.
you also have to consider the convenience of it. It was a very inconvenient way of doing it because you boot up a classic game when you could just turn the controller sideways.
Was it
But no, you had to go
wireless?
get a separate attachment. No,
Was it
you had to
wired?
get a separate attachment.
No,
attach
it
to your
it,
Wii
plu-
remote
it plugged into the Wii remote, which was so
instead of the
weird.
nunchuck, and then put the Wii remote on the
Yeah.
side of
No,
you
that- yeah.
while you played with it.
It had to
Yeah,
hang.
D-
That's
that's
that's a
kinda
good point.
weird.
That
Like,
is
why wouldn't you just
a
use the
major
controller at that
nuisance.
point?
That's a good point
know
that
what
I
I mean?
actually forgot about, is that you had to, and know what's weird about too is, so if you notice, the wire comes out the front side. So if you had the controller sitting in your lap, you had this weird freaking
The
wire
wire
hanging
going
right by
down
your
your
freaking crotch.
Pants. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had to put the Wii
Nintendo
remote
is
by your crotch
notorious
somewhere.
for doing that shit.
Then you have to
They
place
did
the
that with
Wii
the
remote on the
Switch,
couch
too.
next to you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and hope it doesn't
Yeah.
like
It's
slip
probably
between the couch
controlling it,
cushions.
Bill.
Between the couch cushions.
Yeah, and then like
Then you
starts
yank
pressing
it.
buttons and ruin stuff.
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
I
you
just
get
think
up
of
and
our
start
old
I'm
running,
just
house
saying.
slop on the
couch.
floor.
I think of our old house
Oh, yeah,
couch
the
and how
cracks were huge.
yeah, the cracks were huge. Things got lost in there all the
Yeah.
time. You could get buried in there for weeks.
It's literally the classic change in the cushions thing.
Oh yeah, big
Yeah.
time. That's a good point. I would still say C though. I think it's C.
That definitely puts it in D for me.
And
Jason?
B or D.
Oh, D.
Okay.
D.
It's like that definitely
A
puts it as a
tier.
triple S for me.
I think I
It's
would
gotta be
go.
D.
Makes it better.
I love inconvenient.
I
things.
love inconvenience, man. It's the best.
I think I would
Like
go.
that, the Waz episode about
C.
Toys to Life.
It's so
Things like,
funny that you just said
I
that
like
because
wasting my money.
yeah, that's so weird you referenced that because I was literally thinking Scott the Woz when we were saying that for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like a Scott the Woz joke.
That's a great waste of money.
So I say C. Tanner
C is
says
for me.
D.
Wait,
Tanner
you
says
said
D.
C?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hazen.
Hasten.
I would go C then because I've never used it, so I don't.
C baby.
No!
Let's go. And that's nice though. Look at this.
So I can rock paper scissors.
We got one in every category. It's so pretty.
Hey.
All right. Moving on. Let's go to the Switch
Switch
Pro
control- Switch
controller.
Pro controller, yeah.
Now I will say I'm putting this as my S tier either way.
Oh wow.
So because this is my second favorite controller that's ever existed.
Ooh,
Oh,
what?
because it
That's
obviously goes
crazy.
Xbox and then it goes.
The DualSense
The
PS5
Pro-
is
Pro
clearly
controller,
the second
so.
best.
What do you like so much about the Pro
I
controller?
prefer the layout, the stick layout of the Pro controller. I think the D-pad is significantly better on the Pro controller than the DualSense, because the DualSense Pro D-pad is so sticky. Like, I hate it. It's like, I don't know, I don't like it
For the what? Sorry.
for the DualSense.
DualSense.
Oh, sticky. Really?
So I like the DualShock or the freaking Switch
Pro.
Pro over any of them. So
I
I mean,
would
that makes
definitely
sense.
say
The thing is the Pro controller is literally an Xbox controller, like the
Yeah.
layout
Yeah.
and everything.
well,
that's
and
why
Yeah.
it's my second.
probably
that's why
the
it's my
best
second
Nintendo
favorite.
controller, right?
It is
By
the best
far.
Nintendo controller, probably. Period.
Yeah.
Well, at least for the time, like right now, yeah.
For now, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Nintendo will just do the same thing now. Pro.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
that's,
mean,
like, the
like,
way to make
I mean,
controllers
this
now,
time,
Mhm.
because like I think at the time, like GameCube controller. I don't know. I love the GameCube controller. I still think that's a great
GameCube
controller,
still
but-
contends though.
But
I'll
the
say.
yeah, but the Switch controller, I think it's tough to beat. Like you guys were saying, it's literally an Xbox controller, but for Nintendo, and it's really good. Like that's a solid controller. I actually love playing Smash and Breath of the Wild and stuff like that.
I
on
play
the Pro
everything
controller.
on my Pro.
Yeah,
Unless
me too.
and even
Unless
when
I
I'm
can't.
not, like I have the Hori like split
Oh, yeah.
pad, which is literally just a Pro controller split in half.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah,
Not
this
much
would be.
to say about it, just because I don't use it. I've used it
Yeah, I mean,
before, but
It
I have
also
the Switch
has-
Lite, so.
a random little feature for it that I'll give it a little boost is it has motion controls too, which is cool. Like it
as the
lets,
amiibo tapping.
yeah, it has the amiibo tapping and it has gyro. So like you
Has
know
the
the puzzles
screenshot
in Breath of the
button.
Wild where you'd like try to get the rocks in the or
Mm.
the boulders in the temples like into the holes
The
or whatever.
worst
and it's
challenges.
like yeah, the worst ones. You used to have to do it with the Switch. I mean not used to, but you can. And then
Yeah, you have to like.
with the Pro controller you can use gyro. You can literally use that and it does it.
It's nice.
A for me.
I would say A under the Wii controller,
I can't
Personally.
contribute. I literally haven't used it enough to say, but,
but
I,
it
if
doesn't
I,
matter
I'd
because
probably
he's
say
gonna
A.
put it in S anyways. So.
I would say A. I can't let nostalgia get in the way. I would say A above the Wii controller.
I mean, I'd say just from the look, it looks like the second best controller you can have. Period.
Yeah,
Besides
it's.
the Xbox controller.
I like the Wii controller more as a nostalgic thing, but in terms of what I'd rather
Yeah,
use,
yeah.
it's like the Pro controller for the Switch for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Even
that's
like I
true,
know
yeah.
DualSense will probably be pretty high, but even DualSense has the same
I
problem.
don't
as, like,
know
all the
though. That's so
DualShock
it's so hard to
joysticks.
rank it like that.
Yeah,
It's like, would I want to use the Switch Pro controller to play Smash Brawl,
true.
or would I want to
Yes.
use the Wii nunchuck? And
Yeah, Brawl does feel really good.
And
with the
here,
Wii
Captain
nunchuck.
Falcon
That's
going,
the thing.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't get that with the Pro
a
controller.
hard
That's a
list.
good point.
Oh no.
All right, Hasten, you said
You
top
can't,
of A, right?
It's
Flip it
it's
around
S,
if you win.
it's S tier. It's my
Oh,
S tier.
you're putting it in S right now.
You're doing it right now.
Oh
right
wow,
now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
It's
All
my
right.
second
that's
controller.
awesome.
cool. There we go. That answers that question.
all that was pointless.
Well, I said
We-
I said at the beginning that this is my S tier.
Mm. We needed a healthy discussion about it either way, just so we could
Either
disagree
way.
with Hasten, even if we.
My S tier is
Wanted
gonna
to.
be that Logitech.
Yeah, why are those on here?
That's the sub
The
controller.
one that was in the
Those-
submarine. Yeah.
it is. Those are the ones that
Literally they
you would hand to the friend that came
Your
over
little
that that you didn't
four-year-old
want.
the 4-year-old cousin that you didn't want playing. games.
Exactly, that you didn't want them
Here you
getting their
go.
grubby hands on. You'd
And,
be at a
like,
family
totally
reunion,
different controller.
and they'd be like, "Let Jimmy play," and you're like, "Gosh, dang it, no, I don't want it." And then you give him that,
It's
and
like
it's just
this
like all
iconic picture.
there's like Cheeto fingers all over it and stuff.
Like it's okay because this was $4 at the dollar store.
I literally got
At
this
Game
for
Crazy.
50 cents at Game Crazy.
It's like the
Sounds
what were they called? The
clearance.
glow,
Oh, the Afterglow.
glow who? Afterglow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, those were sick.
I
They're
loved my
trash.
Afterglow controller, but it broke in like 2 weeks.
Mhm.
They were
Afterglow-
so
Seriously?
iconic in junior high though. Like junior high, it was like if you have an Afterglow
Yeah,
controller
you
or
were
headset,
the shiz.
you were the guy.
Yeah.
There's
the
this
guy.
iconic picture. I don't know if you can see. it,
Yeah, yeah,
where it's me, Connor, and Parker playing, and Parker's literally his controller's not plugged in.
yeah. Yeah, it's,
Like,
we all have GameCube
Very
controllers.
obviously still wrapped up.
Yeah, we all got GameCube controllers, and Parker's is not plugged in. And it's all like wrapped
Granted,
up. It's
Parker's
awesome.
like an infant.
Yeah, Parker's like
So it's like
literally
what
a
they
baby
expect.
in
That was
it.
messed
So.
up.
Parker was like,
Parker, you were
you
this
showed you
old.
guys.
What do you
You
expect?
he
would
knew,
have you would
he-
have done it too.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, I have done it.
You
I've
did
done
do
it with Maggie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's like such a class. Like I think everyone has that story though, where it's just like I'm not
yeah.
gonna let them use my
It's
nice
like-
controller. I'm giving them this piece of crap.
Well,
controller.
you also don't want them like pressing pause and going to the home.
yeah, or like deleting a profile or something by
Or
accident.
turning off the console in the middle of a game.
That oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
that'd be
that was one
horrible.
of my biggest fears. Real fast, going back to like Wii days, because if you remember the Smash Bros menu, I love how they look and stuff. They're super cool, but I don't know what Sakurai was thinking. But in the Brawl
That's
menu,
right.
if you click on
Had, like,
settings,
delete
if you
data.
click on settings, the next thing you click on is delete data, and it's this bomb. I remember being like terrified that someone was gonna accidentally click that.
'Cause when you go to select your character on Destiny, all you have to do is hold Y, delete your character. So sometimes
That's
I'll
insane.
leave like the Xbox on the character selection,
Yeah.
and I think I'm like, oh man,
What if
little
someone
kid's
walked
gonna walk
in
in
and
there
like,
and just like press the button.
just
Hey,
my
yeah,
character.
Oh,
yeah,
thousands
oh my
and
gosh.
thousands of hours
Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Years of
Man.
academy training wasted.
Wait, years of it
Years of it.
in Azkaban.
Wow, two different references. We got Toy Story and Harry Potter right there. Afterglow controllers also
Yeah,
shout out
you
real
got me
fast
wasted.
because Hazen is
Yeah, why are
totally
they on
right.
here?
They were. It was straight up. You were the cool person if you had that, which is so dumb.
If you
because
showed up to your friend's house with the afterglow,
yeah,
they're like, "Oh man, Hasten's so cool."
Yeah.
And I had one. I had it.
If
I
you
had
had
a red
the-
one.
The
I had a red
plastic
one for like 2
controller.
weeks.
you were getting laid
It was
that night
sick.
if you had that.
I didn't get laid.
Even from your friend? What
Did
the
it
frick?
break? Was it
No,
so crappy
no.
that it broke?
Yeah, they're terrible controllers.
Oh, they're
Even
bad.
Today, I think you can buy
Yeah,
them.
they're bad.
But they're crappy. They just look cool because
Yeah.
they're clear and they got the glow stuff.
Yeah, quick story time. They
Yeah.
had Batman Arkham
Quick
style
story time.
ones that me and Tanner went in on
Afterglow?
one together. It wasn't. I think Afterglow was technically the brand, even
No,
though they
I
weren't
do remember
like
that.
see through, but it had light up functionality to it. And it was so cool, but we bought the PS3 version of the controller because it was
Yeah.
wireless. For whatever reason, the
Why did I do that?
361 was wired, and it was so
I gotta look
stupid.
those up.
But they were
It was Arkham
iconic.
Origins, right?
Yeah, it was no, it was Arkham City. It was Arkham City, which is so cool. But anyway,
Oh, and we got them. I remember using it for PlayStation All Stars.
yes, yeah, that's right, we did because we needed two. That's why we got it, is because we needed two controllers so we could play PlayStation All Stars because we only had the one.
Yeah. I gotta find this.
I'll
That
be
was
straight up
classic.
honest. I do not. I have no idea what this next controller is.
It is the
What is
Steam
it?
controller,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the Steam.
That's the
controller.
Steam one.
which is
Oh.
discontinued because it sold
It's
none.
gone. Yeah. What
Didn't
was this?
sell at all.
What was this
Look at
console?
those joysticks. Or look at those D-pads.
It's
Yeah.
literally
Are they
a joystick
digital?
is the
D-
touchpad.
Yeah, it's like
basically
it's a
touchpad.
touchpad thing.
D-pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Didn't
touchpad.
Steam release a console? Wasn't that what this was? Wasn't it the
Steam
It was the Steam Deck.
Steam console?
I think
Yeah.
it was straight up
Well,
the
No,
Steam
not
Deck.
the Steam Deck.
Well,
Not
no.
the Steam Deck. It was the Steam.
Oh no.
Ah,
It was something. It was something like that. But yeah, they had like some.
Was it just
Console
like
they
a
tried.
glorified PC?
It's-
It was.
find it.
It's essentially. It just let you play your Steam games, and I think it just did not do well or something, and then they discontinued it. It was weird.
You should re-release that. That'd be sick. I'd buy that.
Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, ironically, I think it would do way better. I think they released it during the 360 era, and it just did not like catch on.
PC gaming didn't blow up until the last couple of years. I feel like.
Yeah, I think PC gaming really like blew up during the PS4, Xbox One generation.
Once consoles started getting closer to PC,
Yeah.
and it kind of became more recognized.
Yeah, that's true. I would say F tier.
I
think
can't even
it's-
rank it. Never seen
It's
it.
either
or
I don't
used it.
care.
Yeah, I've never touched
It's
it,
gotta be in the
so
no-
I guess I
don't care.
can't really say, but based on what I see, I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
I
same.
feel like it would be like the annoying, haptic. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
it's,
it's like
weird.
the touch. Yeah.
Not like haptic, but yeah.
Should we do don't care or F then?
Don't care.
You gotta say don't care. We can't
Yeah,
put F. 'cause
That's
we don't
fair.
Well, we haven't tried it. Yeah.
That's fair.
Maybe some people like are diehard.
Yeah, they're like that controller was
Alright.
amazing. You didn't even touch it.
It's the best controller.
You have no
SNES.
idea.
Gives you a hand job.
Where do I buy
Press
that
a
controller?
button.
Oh, here we go, baby. That Here we go, baby.
Oh,
The hand job
oh,
controller.
here we
Let's
go,
go.
baby.
No, the SNES controller.
the hand job. SNES controller.
I love the SNES controller.
classic.
Just for the
This is
classic.
probably
Not as
the
good as the
best.
NES.
Classic controller. No, it's better than.
Did
the
you say
NES,
not as good,
100%.
Parker?
Oh,
Parker said it's not as good as the NES.
oh, see, that's the thing. It depends. I don't. You're cutting out what?
You cut out too, Parker.
You would cut out.
Yeah.
What did you say?
What did you say? You were cutting out.
You
And
talk
I was
first.
like,
No, what did you
First, you
say?
first.
I said that you
first.
said that the NES is worse or better.
I said it depends on what you're. I don't know.
No, Parker,
Dude,
you are right.
no,
You
the
are.
NES is not as good.
No, the NES controller. I mean, we'll get to it when we
It
get to it.
does.
But it does. There is something about the simplicity of the the NES controller
That's the thing.
that
yeah.
is
Yeah,
very
like the edges
nice.
digging into your hand as you're playing because it's freaking
Yeah,
square.
because it's a sharp
Okay,
knife rectangle.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
I guess nostalgia's getting me. I just love the NES controller. Like,
yeah,
Look,
that's
the
true.
NES controller is so classic.
it's not a good controller, but
But
it
it
is
is
like
not
cool
good.
because it's what? But it's like so simple and it's just
It's
like,
simple.
you
Yeah, there's
only-
something
Yeah,
about the
sure,
all you
simplicity.
need for games in
Here's the thing
like,
about the
on
NES
That's all
controller
you
that
need.
you
don't
could
need,
say.
like, a bunch of random buttons.
Yeah,
The thing,
Parker's
Parker,
actually kind of right.
The SNES controller is
It's literally
the NES controller.
Most games
but better.
are like two controls on the NES.
For that generation.
So all
yeah.
you need
Here's
is
the thing.
all you need is
Burger.
that controller.
The SNES controller is rounded. That's better. And it
Okay,
has
Has
more
triggers.
buttons.
Yes.
And as triggers.
Well, it has
More
triggers.
buttons isn't
Yeah.
better always.
And it has triggers.
hmm
I don't need triggers for Solomon's Key.
But
Here's
if
what
you
I'll
did
say.
have Triggers,
One thing I love about the SNES controller is this is such a random tactile thing. I know or love about the, SNES
concave and
the
convex
concave
buttons.
on the buttons. Why has
Yeah,
that
I
never
remember
happened again?
that.
I actually really
They're
like
so
that.
good.
It's cool. It
Oh, I feel
feels
so
nice.
good.
Yeah, it's like I loved just putting my thumb in that button just for
No,
the
the
feel of
little
it.
fingers, like,
Yeah, I love like fingering the button like.
They're like not
eh.
I would
concave,
finger,
they're
I would finger the
convex
buttons
or
like
whatever.
I'd
Yeah,
play.
yeah. Ooh.
Right?
What was that, Parker?
Especially
ones are
feeling
not-
it next to the juxtaposition of the other one where you're
Yeah,
like,
where they're
oh,
flat. Yeah.
The new ones are definitely better, like rounded.
I wish I had my controllers
know,
for
it'd
show and
be
tell. I
nice
should
to
have
have
busted
convex.
them out for
Not
this.
concave, no.
Because that
Yeah.
SNES controller is great. I also like the look of the purple buttons. It's just very iconic to me for
Yeah.
some reason. It's
Very good
it's
look.
weird.
It's
It's weird. Like let's be honest, like purple for the
is
choice of
weird.
the color scheme was an odd choice, especially because the Famicom is so much more iconic with the rainbow colors. You know, have you guys seen the Famicom one?
It's like the SNES, or it's like
Or-
the NES.
Oh, sorry,
controller, right?
sorry. I'm totally off. It's not the Famicom is the Japanese version. It's the European version, I think, that has it looks identical besides the coloring. So it's purple buttons for the American version, but in Europe, I think it was yellow, green, blue, red as the 4 buttons.
Oh, so like modern.
Yeah, so more modern. Yeah,
I want to
Yeah.
see that.
but it looks kind of more, I guess you could say, like normal by today's standards, because it's just the off purple is just kind of an interesting choice.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, is it the EU one? Was I right? Is it the European?
Yeah, it was EU.
Okay.
European.
Yeah, Famicom is red.
Oh, whoa, what the
I got
heck?
that mixed up. The Famicom I think is like straight up red and gold or
Let me
something
see
like
the
that.
Famicom one.
Yeah, which is cool too. But also the start and select button on the SNES controller feel rubbery and weird.
Yeah, Famicom
No, that's how-
controller.
yeah,
like that.
yeah. There's the Famicom.
The
yeah.
NES is too.
And I guess Famicom, that's a different generation. I think that was the NES.
That was
for-
the NES, right?
Yeah, it was the NES for Japan. But
I'm sorry, ours is so much cooler. They
yeah,
called their
I
console
agree.
Famicom. We got the
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Entertainment
Super NES. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Super Nintendo.
and then we got the
Entertainment System.
Super NES. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
we
gonna
got
say
the NES 64.
I'm gonna say top of B tier.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would maybe even go A, like bottom of A.
Maybe below the 360.
It's the best It's the best classic controller in my opinion. Out of all
Yeah.
like the classic consoles.
I mean, it's the second best.
I think it's
but
the
yeah.
I would say D.
Hasten does not like it.
Shut up,
Nice.
Hazen.
Parker,
Haterade.
you seriously think the NES controller is better? You better not say it. That is better.
Okay,
That'd be ridiculous.
Here,
like
I
I said,
I can
it
understand where
depends
Parker's
on
coming
what
from.
We're ranking it off of it. That's all
No.
it depends on. Yes.
I completely understand where Parker's
Okay.
coming from. I don't
Okay,
agree.
I'm gonna give you
I
an
don't
Xbox
agree,
controller
but...
for Christmas with razor blades on the edge.
Okay. Yes, you are right. It is a better controller. But the
I love
NES
this.
controller, it's a better controller. The Super NES.
It's so simplistic, yet my hands are on fire.
It's
I
amazing. The
love it.
simplicity. The simplicity makes the
Feel the
pain worth
burn.
it.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
I would say top of B. As well.
What are we?
I'd agree.
What are we ranking?
SNES
Oh,
controller.
still the SNES. Yeah, B. Top of B. Oh, not top of B.
Low of B.
It's below the Xbox controller.
I think it's above.
360.
It's
Wait, okay,
you're
360.
Crazy.
Wait, should we
Connor, you
move
said the
360 to
360
A?
That's what I was saying. The
It's
360
just-
controller's the
I know-
best controller.
I know.
It was at one point.
Here's the thing. I know deep down that you're right, but it's also just a nostalgia bait thing for me. I can't. It's like
Stupid.
it feels. Here's the thing. We can agree on this. The 360
I'm a huge fan of
controllers
silent films.
get. Yeah, I love. Yeah, they're the best. No, but 360
You
controllers
should have made
get
Dune a silent film.
disgusting. They hold dirt
They do.
and
yeah,
like
they do.
grime.
They're
The
really bad
SNES
at that.
controller does not
Like
do
any
that really.
controller
I feel like
does.
all
No,
of our
SNES controller
old
does not as
old-
much.
No.
All of our
It-
old 360
feels
controllers
so
are all
much better.
sticky and
Okay.
and
Now we were looking at Dad's NES.
I mean, it's
Parker
like
tried
that's
to
like
set it up.
30 years old.
It's disgusting.
40 years
Like,
old
It
almost.
has like this brown substance.
It's just
on the
nacho
top.
cheese,
Yeah,
Doritos
Yeah,
sauce
from, like,
everywhere.
like
actually, it holds up better
1980.
than most other.
Parker froze.
Parker's frozen for me.
You guys are all
Yeah, me
frozen for
too.
me. What happened?
Well, what did you say?
Anyway,
Finish what you were
okay,
saying.
I'll concede. I'll go below 360. I don't care.
I'll go. I'll
gotta be
go.
below.
I'm
Parker froze again.
Yeah.
putting at the bottom of A. No, seriously, it's better than the 360 though.
We'll go below A. We'll do below 360. I think that's good.
What?
That's perfect
No,
where it is.
legit,
I
it's
said
better than
D,
360.
so yeah, below 360.
It goes below 360.
So it has to, because Hasten
Yeah.
said
Gosh
D.
dang it! F you, Hasten.
Well, Hasten
Alright.
shouldn't get a say because he hasn't actually really used it.
Yeah, like,
But either way.
I've used it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't-
Hasten has
He's
used it. that's
touched
true.
it.
Yeah, Hasten's touched it. He's touched it.
Alright,
Arguably the best
DualSense.
controller ever made. It's my S tier.
I
Arguably,
have no. I can't
arguably
say.
the coolest controller for sure.
yeah.
Like no doubt.
Most features
Actu-
in any controller that's ever.
I
Yeah.
can agree with that just from a distance. Like I've never even used it, but I've seen haptics and stuff like that. That's
Audio
awesome.
listeners,
I
we're
wish
talking
more
about the
controllers would do
PS5
that.
controller, by the way.
It's the most
Oh.
advanced
It's
controller
that
we have.
DualSense,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, the DualSense.
It's
Which
a great controller.
I want to.
It's the best PlayStation, no question.
Oh no. Well,
Why
yeah.
does PlayStation
Well,
die on the hill with
mostly
their
yeah,
No,
joysticks,
though.
though?
you can't go
Why?
nostalgia though. In terms of best.
no, I know. I was gonna say the PlayStation 4 controller is really good too. But I agree, DualSense is better. But yeah.
They just made the DualSense bigger, which is what. made it
And that's kind of
Yeah.
it's
Well, they
good
made
in
it the
some
same
ways, but I will
more
say
than
the
same
DualSense, because of all the features it has, gets really heavy. I know that's a weird complaint, but it's like I feel the weight
It's
of
got
it.
so many features.
Yeah, well, because it's like it's heavier because of all the
Oh my
crap in it. I
gosh,
feel like it's just like
so heavy.
I
like
noticed the
SpongeBob
weight when I
Like
use it.
SpongeBob's spatula.
Yeah, it's like I notice the weight when I play it. I'm like, oh, this thing's heavy. It's not a bad thing, but I do notice it. You know.
I mean, now that you say it, maybe I guess it's a little.
That's such a
heavy, but
first world
it's not
problem. My
really.
controller has too many features.
It's too
It's-
many.
it's-
It's too
It's
many.
14
Cut
out.
'em
It's
out.
4 ounces heavier than I want it to be.
Yeah.
Get it out. Definitely the most futuristic controller. I think we can agree on that as of right now. Right?
I'll say one con, and it's the only con that I know, is that it's not compatible with PC all the way. It's the only thing I know because I have PC.
It's
a
also
PC
not-
controller.
Okay, Tanner, is the NES controller compatible with PC?
Well, no.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
As
yeah,
far as
sure.
like modern controllers, though, like I just know that's a problem. Just
Mhm.
because like people will like I want to play, and then they try to plug in their DualSense and it doesn't work.
I gotta shout out the haptic feedback on this thing. It's freaking awesome. Like when you're
It's
using
so-
a bow and
It's
arrow,
so much more fun, yeah.
it's so cool. Like actually feeling the resistance on the triggers.
It's really good.
Just an awesome
It makes
feature. I
your-
also
and it makes like
the
pistol
audio,
gunshots
the
feel so
audio
audio.
makes
powerful.
it really cool.
The audio's
Like
cool.
the
Yeah.
audio doesn't sound like a ginormous bass shot.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like the,
It's not like the Wii.
controller. It's
Yeah.
you can actually
Yeah.
hear things.
You can understand it.
So-
That's true.
It also has the light sensor,
Yeah.
which is cool when you're low on health in like Last of Us or something. It turns red, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I love
it
little
is cool,
features
yeah.
like that. I remember the first time I played.
Does it turn brown when your character poops?
Yeah, when they go poop, it's bright brown and it
That'd be
makes farting
hilarious.
noises.
Like you hold the controller there for too long.
I remember playing GTA on the PS3 or not PS3, PS4 or something like that. And it's cool because it makes the siren noises. Like when the cops
Yeah,
are
and it
after you, it's
flashes
like
bl-
it flashes blue and red. And then you hear the sirens after you. It's like, oh, that's so cool. It's just little things like that that I don't know, stick out to me. A.
Definitely
A.
top of A, without even a question.
Or
Go
is
on.
this your S tier, Parker? I thought you were putting an S.
It might be. I'm not gonna put it yet though.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'd
can't
say
rank-
Actually,
top
should
of
I
A,
just
top
put
of
it?
A for me.
yeah, I'm gonna put it. Just put it in S.
You're gonna put it
It's
in there?
mine.
I think that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I like that.
I love that.
Am I
controller
gonna
so
use
much.
my on? There's nothing. Oh well. I guess there's one.
There's one. You could
We-
use it on.
There's one.
Top we'll have to
Audio
rank
use
the
controller.
triple S later, which will be hard, but for now the PS5 DualSense, it's in triple S. Let's go to the DualSense 4 or DualShock
For now.
4.
Forever.
Once again, can't
Uh,
contribute too much. I owned a PS4 for a little bit, but it's pretty
And
cool.
then you gave
I
it
just
to
don't
me.
like. Look, I'm not. Here's what I'll say. I'm not the biggest fan of PlayStation's controllers. I don't like the joystick layout. I just have such a problem with the joystick layout. And their triggers. I don't know about the new controller, but at least the old DualShock controllers,
Yeah,
their
the-
triggers
the
were like
series-
on the edge.
The
know.
Xbox has better joystick layout.
Yeah,
You know what I will
I agree.
say?
I like offset sticks for sure.
My opinion with these controllers is literally, it goes, I think like DualSense A, and then it just goes B C D E, B C D F, just in the order that they were released almost. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like the 4 is gonna be B.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
they just got
C,
better.
D.
I
They
kinda
just slowly increased it better, just like the Xbox.
They're so
controller did.
similar.
I kind of
but,
agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
The joy. You know what I'm talking about with the triggers though? They feel like they're on the edge. But like if you push too hard, they would just. You know what I'm talking about?
Like they would what?
At
Like-
least on the PS4, like they would just snap off. Like they are like on the edge of the controller, like the very edge of the trigger. It's like, like with Xbox,
Wait, what are you
when you
talking
press
about?
when you press in on the joystick, it like goes into the controller.
Yeah.
The PS4 and stuff, it's like when I'm pressing, it's like on the edge right here. It's like gonna. It's hard to explain.
I think I kind
what
of
I
know what you're
mean?
talking about. I will say the DualShock 3 specifically has like this rubber texture on the joystick that wears
dog's
off
nose?
super easy. Yeah, the dog's nose. Yeah, exactly. And it like those things did not last. Those things were not built to last for sure. But
You mean like these triggers?
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't know. There's something about them. Look at the
like they're
edge of it.
slippery.
There's like that little lip.
It's a
see, there's
lip.
like that
Yeah,
lip.
it's a lip.
You can like if you I every time I used to play with it, I'd be like, I don't like that. Like it
Mm.
feels like there's empty space
Ah.
underneath.
Yeah,
No.
it's interesting. It's a weird choice.
I don't like that lip. Why do they do that? Like
It actually
Xbox, their
feels
triggers
pretty
are
good,
so
though.
good.
It's a good controller. It is a good controller. I would say personally, I think it's an A. I don't think it's.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like bottom of A.
I don't feel
This
like I
is-
have enough.
we're on the
experience with it
PS4,
to
right?
rank.
It's actually. I
Still
mean,
uses,
frankly,
still uses micro USB.
yeah.
kinda
Most
sucks.
most things did, which sucks.
But
I
it
would
does
say
have the
it's-
light bar and it has the touch sensor, which is pretty cool.
I will say,
It's just under the PS5.
it's better than the Wii controllers,
Oh yeah.
so
Even
it
in
would
my
technically
little
go
use
top
of
of
it.
A, right?
I mean, the truth is let's be real. Any modern console, which it is a modern console, has a good controller like that. Except
Yeah.
the Switch.
Yeah, I would say top of A.
I'd
Wait,
go
where's the
middle,
original
middle
Xbox?
of B.
Is that not even on here?
We have
Oh,
the
not
original
the
Xbox.
original. Did it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. And then
No,
the
sorry,
Duke.
the Xbox One, the original Xbox One.
Yeah,
they
it's
don't
not
have
on
the
here.
Xbox
They just
One.
combined it with
No.
the Series X, which is weird. They shouldn't have
Yeah,
done
I
that.
guess it's pretty similar, but
I
not
guess they're
really.
so
It's-
similar that it makes sense, but
I don't
Yeah,
know, the
but
Series
there's
X one feels
differences.
like so much more grip, less slippery.
they're
even, though.
they're about as different as like the PS2 to PS3.
yeah,
Yeah.
Even
literally.
PS3 they didn't.
Yeah,
change
that's
anything.
true. Yeah, it is pretty much. Because the D-pad was completely different. That's it.
All right, now we have like 4 or 5 PlayStation controllers
Wait,
that I
where
Wait,
we
what?
put-
Yeah, where'd we put
Where did we
PS4?
put PS4?
top of A, right?
Top of A, I thought, right?
I said
Top
middle
of A?
B.
Hasten said middle,
Middle of
B. I
B?
said top of A.
Isn't the middle B? I can't rank it because I don't have enough
Oh,
experience.
so go top of A then, because go majority, right? So
I would definitely say it's better than the 360
yeah, I
because
would say
it's
so
more
too.
modern.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
At
it is.
least.
It
And
feels
then the
better. I
Wii
would
is
rather
just
use a PS4
nostalgia,
controller
so-
than a 360 at this point.
No,
Yeah.
you guys blasphemous for the PS3. Xbox
I-
360 controller is so good.
One thing that's
The-
cool about
okay, the DualSense is just as good as the Xbox One controller, to me. And then like the
No.
yeah,
if it,
or the PS4 one.
yeah, I wish they
The
had
Xbox
offset
One
sticks.
controller is
But...
it's in a rank of its own in my opinion. It's the best controller.
I want
When
to
you
shout
think of
out.
controller. You think of this.
No, the series.
rather
controller's
use-
way better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, serious. Yeah,
Yeah.
The newest one. I mean, not this one specific.
yeah. I will
We
shout
still
out
use
on
that one.
the
I don't understand.
DualShock 4. I like the light bar on the back. I actually thought that was kind of cool. I remember people would do customizations, like put like graphics on there that would make it shine like their
Yeah.
logo or something. Just something that's kind of cool, makes it unique. But let's go to the DualShock 3.
I can actually rank this one.
C.
Yeah, I would
I think,
maybe
like I said,
it's worse
think
than
it's
the
gonna
4.
keep
I would
going
maybe
down.
go D, even.
No,
it's so
not-
small. It's tiny.
It's
It's a
not
good
that
controller.
I remember
Yeah.
holding it in my hands, being
It's
like, "This
barely
thing is
different
like
than the
made for
4, though.
babies. It's like made for
Last of Us
babies."
playing Last of Us.
It's better than the Wii
Yeah.
Classic.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's better than the Wii Classic. Like it's not like
I think
it's a good controller.
top
Yeah.
of C or bottom of B for me.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say
would go
top
top
of B.
top
Let's
of
say
C.
top of C.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
top
good
of
with
C.
that too.
Sorry.
What's
Okay.
weird is this is one of the first controllers that we're getting to where it's like there's nothing that separates it apart, like at all. Like nothing
the next,
that makes
the
this
next
special.
3 are almost all similar except for like.
Well, here we go. Ready? Here we have the exact same controller. Like, what's different?
Uh,
It has a button in the middle.
eh,
It has an
yeah.
extra
What is
button in
the
middle.
difference between the PS2 and PS3? I know there is because I've held them
Yeah,
both in my
Hasten's
hands
right.
and they
There
are
is a
slightly
middle
different.
I think that button resets the console. I think
button.
like power,
Oh, shoot.
like power button.
Okay, well, it's only fair to put this right below that one, right?
I will say these next two, the DualShock 2 and
I'd
the
say it's
DualShock 1,
low.
the DualShock and DualShock 2, I don't have a ton of experience with. I mean, we played PS2 a little bit
I
growing
don't have
up.
a experience
like
with
what?
any of
But-
them.
Seven Stars and Asteroids,
Besides-
maybe.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, stuff like that. But
Crash
I don't have
Bandicoot.
experience with 2 or 1.
I say we do 3
PlayStation.
or 3 version 2 is below C.
say what?
Wait,
So
3 version.
bottom of C?
Well, this is PS2 that we're looking at.
Yeah, this is PS2. So here's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That's what we're
in
saying.
below
PS2
C.
versus PS3 is the exact same.
So here's what's weird, real fast, just so we're clear. Yeah, this is the PS2 controller, but then going next, the next one after this is actually the PS1 controller. It's the very first PlayStation
The
controller.
original.
The original.
Before they got the DualShock.
before they had before they even had joysticks on them. And
Then
so
there's
let's go.
2 versions.
then there's
of the
2 more.
joystick
the
DualShock.
one to the farthest left is a PS2 controller as well. That was the first PS2 controller.
But
Wired.
It's like a classic,
It's wired
maybe?
though. Look, it's
Oh,
and then the
other
one's
wireless.
is wireless. Yeah.
So this is the wireless PS2 controller we're ranking.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. PS1 is F, right?
The
Original
original
PS1.
PS1, I'd say, is F. Yes, it's Duke tier.
The original PS1 controller. Here's the thing.
The one without joysticks.
Yeah, it's not good, but at the same time, it served its purpose. They didn't like the games they had at that time didn't really require too much. You know, it's like I kind of look at it in the same way as what the NES controller did for the NES. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You have to think. PlayStation 1, wasn't that around the same time as 64? Nintendo
Yeah,
64?
no, that's true. PS4 or
Nintendo
PS1
64
definitely
had a
did have
joystick.
some 3D type games that could use joysticks, but I don't think it was like as prominent yet. I don't know,
Sure.
but
I don't know.
Either way.
I feel like it's
Yeah,
either an
F.
I don't know. or F.
yeah, maybe we go. I don't know because do we really have that much
I
experience?
feel
with
like
it?
just but like you have to look at it this way. From looking at it, you have the choice between the DualShock 1 and that.
yeah,
Okay,
You're
wait.
not gonna pick that. You're gonna pick DualShock 1.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
would
that's
say
fair.
I don't.
They're
care.
both on the same console.
I'm gonna vote. I don't care. I think that's
Because
my
it's
vote,
not
'cause
an
I don't,
F.
I don't know.
That's not a like.
Yeah, I don't
bad
think it's a
controller,
bad
that's
controller.
But
It's
here's
just-
the thing: is even though we haven't used it, you have to still rank it. Like I just said, you literally buy a PS1, and they give you the DualShock 1 and that controller. Which one are
Okay,
you
but
gonna
it's
use?
literally better. It's better than the Duke.
Duke has joysticks.
But the Duke
Because look how
sucks.
big the Duke is.
It's
The
so
Duke
big.
is
Really huge.
awesome.
You're like,
literally
the
the
Duke is
size of
awesome,
the
big,
Duke.
and you voted for
I'm
it
gonna
for
look
F.
up All right, let's see if there's a Duke, a brand new Duke they made. Didn't they make a new
They
one
did.
that had like an animated logo?
I think so.
Yes.
They
I'm
re-
buying
You
it.
buy
made a
it.
new
You
one.
buy it, Tanner, and you tell me how much you love.
Yeah.
playing
I'm maining
Destiny
it
on
on
the Duke.
PC. I'm maining it on PC.
Let's see. So me and Parker vote. I don't care for the PS1 controller. What do you guys say?
I say F.
I would say F. I had a PS1.
So how do we split this then?
I didn't enjoy it.
Because it's totally split then.
Rock paper scissors.
That's
I'll
so
go
cool.
for I don't care.
It's $90. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, ready?
so
Just
I
put your
can
thing
do
up,
it.
Parker. Put your
Oh,
thing
yeah.
up right now
3,
below the camera.
2, 1.
I win.
His
Okay.
Duke goes F. But above the Duke or
that.
below the
Stupid.
Duke?
Above the Duke, right?
It's
Come
above
on.
the
It's
Duke.
below the Duke. Come on.
Below,
No,
below
it's
the Duke.
Okay, vote rock,
There's
paper,
no
scissors
way.
again.
All
Rock,
right,
paper, scissors again for this
Right
one.
now it's Tanner and Connor.
Okay,
Okay.
me and Connor, ready?
Yeah, ready? Just hold it up.
When do we?
1, 2,
Good.
3, go.
Hey!
Dude,
Stupid.
that's a
Above
stupid.
the Duke.
It is not
Do
that.
it,
That's
no.
just so bad.
Do it, no.
I don't think Tanner should get a vote, frankly. Like, he
Ew.
didn't use it.
This
Then
is
you
a bunch of.
do.
That's why I'm saying, like, that's why I just don't care for me, because I didn't use it.
I
It
hate
doesn't
it.
matter. Oh,
I
well.
don't like.
Wireless
Looks
PS2
crappy.
controller. Or, like, actually, let's do the
Uh,
DualShock 1. Let's do DualShock 1.
Okay, DualShock 1.
DualShock
is
is a good control. I mean, it's fine. It's literally a classic controller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
the
it's
joysticks.
literally better than the other one, so it has
I would
to be
say
above
a-
that.
I go below or low C.
I'd go
below
middle
the
C.
other ones.
I'd
Yeah,
say
both-
top of
similar.
D.
It's definitely below PS2 though, so
I'd say top of D.
I'm fine with all of these.
Well, so there's
hold
the
on.
DualShock 1, and then there's the DualShock
Here, I'll look it
2
up.
original.
And look at those joysticks too. I don't like those joysticks. The concave.
Yeah,
on
they look
those.
horrible. Yeah,
Look.
ew.
So big. I don't know. It's a big concave.
It's also just weirdly shaped. Like compared to the DualShock 2, which is right next to it, the joy or the handles look really long.
They
It might just be
do.
the angle, but they look really long.
I would say I'll go. I'm staying with C.
I mean,
Low C.
middle of
Mid-
C, right
low-
above the
low
Wii
C,
Classic.
yeah.
yeah, okay, low C.
Low C.
Could
Low
agree
C
with
for the DualShock 1.
The DualShock 1 with joysticks.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
And then
I
I'd
think
go
by
low
default-
D
Low C
for the
as in
next
bottom
one.
C, above Wii.
Below classic controller, the Wii Classic controller.
Yeah, below
What?
classic.
Okay.
And so I would say the PS2 wired controller, do we want to do like
Is right above it,
right above it?
and then the
I'll
wireless
take
is above
D.
the classic.
So which one are we putting? That darker, ugly colored one that we were just talking crap on?
The darker, ugly one is at the lowest of C, and then the lighter one's above it, and then the Wii Classic's above that, and then the wireless PS2 is above that.
Okay.
Wait,
That's fine.
what?
Well,
Okay, right.
wireless PS2, I would say is above the Wii
Is
Classic
right below
controller.
PS3. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, wireless PS2 is above Wii Classic.
And then wired PS2 is where?
Is below Wii Classic.
All right. The N64. I remember
No,
playing
what?
this one and just the way you
Oh.
had to hold it.
The N64.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, N64, right?
This is what I'll say.
Yeah.
This controller's trash, but it's really
It
nostalgic.
is.
But
No,
it
no.
is the
It's the
worst
most
controller.
unique controller ever.
It is.
But it is horrible.
It's not good.
It's
designed
Is it good?
horrible.
It's not good.
It is the
Like, how
worst
are you
designed.
supposed to hold it?
It is the worst designed controller I've ever seen. Like not
Okay.
having 3 grips. What are they thinking? Who has 3 grips?
What did they expect you to do?
Dude, more grip is always better. Okay.
They gave it a penis.
I have some thoughts on the N64 controller before you guys talk too much trash, all right?
He's gonna.
It's
he's
trash.
gonna
so-
defend
It's
it with
it's
himself.
it's not a
No,
good
hear me out.
it's not a good controller.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I was kidding.
Okay,
Here's the
yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. I
But it's
I
classic,
love
and I
I
do
love the
admit that.
N64 controller for the classicness of it. Absolutely. And the
Yeah,
nostalgia of it.
absolutely.
Because this was my first controller.
It's the
This
most
is what
unique
got me
controller.
into video games, like what started me on my path. So it's like I hold a lot of love for it, but it truly is one of the weirdest design controllers of all time. It is not
There's
it's not very
no
good.
redeeming thing about it, if I'm honest. Like, it was one of the first with a joystick, which is great. But why'd they
Yeah.
do it like that?
I mean, it's kind of cool looking. It's cool looking. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
give it
it's
that.
super unique. Like we said, it is literally the most unique controller they've ever.
Anyone
made.
can make a
What?
unique controller.
Yeah, it's like.
But here's the thing. It's unique
I
for a
don't
lot of
know.
ways. Because here's what I'll say. For one, it what introduced the Rumble Pack. It was the first controller with Rumble. Two, it has
But as a separate thing, right? Not included.
sure, yeah, but it's technically the first one. You just had to plug it in. But also, the color schemes of them are iconic. Like I loved the
Banana one.
the different colored ones, like with the
clear
the
ones.
purple, yeah,
The
the purple
green.
clear ones where you could see through them, or the green
Yeah.
see through. The gray
Those
ones,
ones were sick.
the most classic, I'd say. But even the face buttons, like the blue
there
and
purple?
green. Yeah, there was purple, like a purple see through, which was awesome. I said some of my favorite looking controllers, no doubt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that.
Um,
They were definitely compensating for something by making them look really cool. 'Cause they're like, please, the Sega Genesis or the what was it, the Genesis at
yeah,
the time?
it was
Please, so much better.
well, the PS1.
or the
The PS1. But just to confirm real quick, I just want to make sure I have the on my end where we put the PlayStation controllers, right? So in C, at the top of C is the PS3, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then the PS2 wireless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then the Wii Classic, is that right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
PS2 with wire. And then
Yep.
Yep.
DualShock 1.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Just making sure I had it right.
Yes.
Okay, I will start the voting with the N64 controller. I would throw it at low C, bottom of C.
I'm gonna use my S tier.
Put it
S
in.
tier.
Put it in.
Nintendo
What?
64.
You get no choice.
Just kidding. Of course not. What the heck?
No,
I'd go
yeah.
F below
I
Duke.
kind of
so-
want to, but
I don't know. It's not below the Duke. I don't know. Oh.
I thought you were pro
Nostalgia
Duke.
does-
You're the one that's gonna main the
I am
Duke.
pro Duke, but I love the Nintendo 64 just because it's so weird.
and here's the thing. It does
So
feel
bad.
when you hold it, like, you know, your left hand in the middle and your right hand on the right, it feels good. It doesn't feel bad. It's just awkward that there's a third
No, but-
handle.
Yeah,
like
it
that's
was really
like,
good
can't-
practice, you know. Like it was really good practice
Yeah,
as a man.
exactly,
to, like,
yeah.
hold it in the middle, and I held it.
And then you tap the trigger, you know, which is like
I mess with the joy. I grab the joystick and I move it around.
yeah. Yeah, this is all good.
Like the detonator.
You know, you
remember?
know.
C4. Yeah. Yeah. C4. Yeah.
Hasten and his C4.
C4 trick.
I would put the
Hasten C4 is
N64
a lot.
at the top of D. It's a horrible controller, but it was classic enough. It deserves top of D.
I think that's fair, Parker.
Man.
So, Tanner, what'd you say?
All right, what'd you say?
You're the final vote. I said bottom
Parker,
C.
what'd you
Parker
say?
said top of D. Hasten said F.
Are you actually taking that as your estimate? You should.
No.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably right below the Duke. Above
No.
the PlayStation.
No
You
way.
can't
it's
put it
below
that
the
low.
Duke.
That's what I said.
Duke sucks.
So,
So
now
that-
we gotta do rock paper scissors.
No,
again.
no, that would put it bottom of D. Because I said bottom C. Hey, or Parker said top of D, and you guys said middle F. So that would equal out to bottom D,
Bottom
right?
F. I actually said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'd say I don't care. So now it's
Bottom D. Oh, thank goodness
Bottom
the
of F.
64 controller didn't go F. That's all I
Okay,
care about.
that's fine with me.
Yeah.
That works.
All right, this is a big one. This is probably arguably the most classic
This-
controller of all time.
All of all time. It is the most classic.
The
controller.
NES controller. What are we
PS5,
thinking,
and I would
boys?
be using it for my PS5.
Ooh. Thing sucks.
I think
Be
this
real.
controller
Be real
is
for a second.
right below
You
SNES.
stupid, Tanner.
Let's be real for a second, Parker. Let's be real.
It's
not
such a good controller.
I think this controller
classic.
is the bottom of A.
Don't get me
Just
wrong.
for being the most classic controller of all time.
Yeah, I do think
Bottom
it
of it.
gets
was
kind of like
revolutionary.
it gets a boost just for its classicness.
Was it one? I think it might have been one of
And
the
it-
first controllers that wasn't a joystick, right?
You need for
Maybe.
games on the
Yeah, I don't
A
know.
lot, like Atari and stuff was joystick, wasn't it? It was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think this might have been one of the first gamepads that was popularized, at least.
Yeah, I think you might be
You
right.
gotta give it credit there, and it does feel great with the buttons. I'll admit.
Oh
that.
yeah, it's very
There's something
tactile.
about the way they feel when you press them.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
can't get over. It is very uncomfortable to hold. It's not a fun controller to hold.
I go.
Yeah,
small,
but
it
something
cuts
about
into your
holding
hands,
that
it's
and
square.
playing old games, so fun.
Yeah, I agree
I love
with
it.
Parker.
Yeah.
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 Not to mention
And
like
you don't
Konami
need more
code
than that.
and stuff like
I
that.
keep saying.
That's what this started on.
You don't need an N or a NES. you
Sometimes
don't need a
smaller
Xbox controller
is
for
more.
some speed. Exactly.
Okay, yeah, just because of that, Hasten's right. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
put
S
it
tier.
triple S.
Small.
I'm saying bottom B,
They just don't get it.
below SNES.
Bottom B. What are you smoking, dude?
I'd go
It's
bottom
not-
of C.
It's worse than the classic Wii.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Hasten.
What?
It's worse than the classic Wii
Yeah,
controller.
it is not that much worse
No.
than the SNES, if anything. I
Nostalgia's
think it's better, but-
blinding you.
No.
Yes.
So you guys both say bottom C.
Are we
blinding
ranking
you guys
these?
with the
Because if we're
360.
ranking these now, not in the past.
We're
Obviously,
doing
yes, in the
everything.
past.
We're taking it all into account.
We're
so.
taking it all. We've already messed that up because the
Yeah.
360 would not
Then
be as
it's
high
low.
as this.
It still would.
No, because we're also we are
360 still
allowing
good.
nostalgia and also just like
Okay, in that case, then the
how its effect on
SNES would not be
society.
okay. You want to play COD with the SNES?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I do. Has triggers.
We have to account for everything. So
The NES
That'd
doesn't
be
even have
awful.
triggers.
You can't even
It's literally
turn.
just two buttons. Can't even shoot with the NES. You're just gonna be sitting there jumping and crouching.
So you guys
It's
say
also
bottom of C.
platformer.
I say bottom of B. Parker, what'd you say?
bottom of A.
So it would
So
go bottom of B.
Bottom
C.
of B or high C.
Bottom C.
Well, it would go bottom of B or top of C. I don't know which one.
Top of C.
Hey, let's do rock paper scissors between.
Okay, you
Parker
ready?
and Tanner.
3, Tanner. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Hey.
So stupid. F
Boo.
you guys.
You guys are dumb. You guys are gonna get so much hate for that from all of our millions of
So,
fans.
so it goes, yeah. So it goes top.
Yeah.
Wow, the SA or the NES controller is top of C. That is disgusting.
That is
Ugh.
disgusting.
That makes sense.
It
Look
should
at
be
It's
in
right
B.
No,
under
it
the
doesn't.
SNES.
That should be an S tier controller right there. That is the most
It's
classic
right
thing
under
of all
the
time.
SNES. ain't it?
You should save
bet
it,
most
Parker.
people
Get
agree
rid of
with
the
that.
dual sense
Let's
and
be
put
real.
that in.
Okay, most people agree that the SNES is better than the NES.
Why?
I guarantee you that's the popular opinion.
Why? Because it's more.
It's just better. It has the triggers. It has an extra.
No,
two
I think
buttons.
there's probably a
More is
subsect of
better.
people that agree with Parker. That it's
Yeah.
like it's
No way.
yeah, that they prefer the simplicity. I guarantee there's
I
people
mean, I'm
like
sure
that.
there is.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm saying I bet
Yeah,
you
it's
a lot of people, not a majority, but I bet you there's quite a few defenders of that.
yeah, like 45-year-olds.
There's
like-
probably a lot.
Like 10
Yes,
people.
Yeah, people
literally.
work with it.
Yes.
Do we even want to do these Logitech controllers?
no,
No,
let's
just put 'em in
can
the
we
bottom of
skip these and
F.
put 'em on-
Bottom
They're literally the nacho cheese controllers.
They
Killed
are.
people.
They straight up killed people. These guys are they're responsible
Responsible for
for
people.
murder.
Here, we'll put the wired one below the
These
wireless
guys.
one. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so they both go F,
Well,
but we
theoretically,
go
the wired
the
one might
silver
be
one's
better.
above it, above the
Because
other
if
one.
they had a wired one,
Are
they
we
wouldn't have
putting
died.
F?
Yeah,
The wireless
I-
one died.
I have
ran
a
out of battery.
feeling. I have a feeling the controller wasn't the issue. I think the submarine imploded and crushed.
what
these-
happened
no, you're
was
wrong. It was
He ran out
Logitech's
of
fault.
batteries. Yeah, it's Logitech. Sue Logitech, we're calling you out.
All right, guys. I don't know why these two are separate. Why there's
Yeah,
two
that's what I was thinking.
coming up
I
here.
was thinking that the whole time.
I guess it's
They're
just the
different.
form factor of the way you play. But we're on the
Okay.
Switch controllers now.
These are horrible controllers.
the Joy-Cons.
Hot take. Just kidding.
Joy-Cons
Oh, it's not a
in
hot
the
take, they're the
dock thing. What are you guys thinking? Let's talk to Joy-Cons.
Should we rank them separate? Let's just rank them at the same time. They're-
Yeah, let's rank them. They're yeah,
Yeah.
I think they should be the same regardless.
I think that these are the worst modern controllers we have. Without
Hot
even.
take.
Yeah, you're right.
So, bottom of A.
Here's the thing. Joy-Cons have a lot of pros too. They
Yes,
trust me.
they
They have a
do.
ton of negatives.
Co-op
Uh,
play is.
Stick drift, horrible. They break
They're
easily.
the worst
They're tiny
manufactured controller ever.
for sure.
Yeah.
I
For sure.
agree.
They're
Controller
awful.
that
Yeah.
breaks
I don't
more.
know, bro.
Yeah. But in terms of positives,
And they're so tiny and hard to use, especially when
Yeah.
you're using one and it's like the little, and you're using the little bumpers on the side. It's like,
The
yeah.
the vibrations that it
Yeah.
has around
H-
the controller
HD
are
Rumble.
legit impressive. HD Rumble is
HD Rumble's
impressive.
awesome.
The motion is
Motion's good.
way better than the Wii. It's
Yep.
impressive. Battery is really good
Battery's better.
on them.
Yeah.
for how small they are. It's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool that you
I've
can
always,
detach
I've always had a
them.
problem with the batteries. Always been dead for me.
Oh, really?
Well, you don't play your console.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah, you're a Switch Lite.
It just dies.
But
Um,
also the just multiplayer, the switching ability is cool. Like being able to just rip them right out of your
Oh, yeah.
console, like with the snap sound. Like I mean, come on, that's classic at this point. I like
I
that.
would agree they're the worst of the modern controllers. So I would put them
I'd say so too.
below the 360 controllers.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
I
right below the 360 for me.
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
I think that's
They're
fair.
so bad, dude. They're so cheap. When they're on
so
the Switch,
cheap,
it feels like
but
they're gonna break off.
In terms
when
of
you,
like,
when you're holding
yeah,
them on the Switch, they legit are like. The
Yeah.
Joy-Con drift is
hey, but
ridiculous.
let's be honest. Besides nostalgia, I mean, they're better than the Wii controller. Like besides
No.
nostalgia, for the most part,
I'm not
besides,
even
like,
joking.
cheaply
I
made,
legitimately think that
The
the
Wii
Joy-Cons-
controllers are more durable.
durable.
that's
yes,
why I'm a
but
Switch
that's
Lite.
what I mean, cheaply made.
That's why I'm a Switch Lite stan. It's because it's connected to the console and they're just better. Like the Joy-Cons are the worst controller for any
Mm.
console to have launched with.
have to play like that, which is horrible.
But there's
Yeah, they're
nothing
not-
wrong with it because it's like
They're not great. I would agree though. I think
Wait,
below
okay, where's the
360.
3DS? Where's the 3DS on here?
like there's
Technically,
no
that's a
there's
controller.
no like
yeah, in
what
Smash.
the heck? And the Switch Lite is a controller.
And the Wii U gamepad.
Wait,
and the
where's the Wii U gamepad?
and the Game Boy
That one actually is a controller.
Yeah, that one actually
The
is.
Wii U gamepad's legit a controller. That one's weird.
and the Game Boy is a legit controller. You know?
What did you vote, Tanner? Because
I'd say-
me and Nathan said below
I
360.
would
and I think
legitimately
Hasten's
say
perfect
Joy-Cons
too.
are like top of D.
Wow. I wouldn't say that though. I think they're still.
They're
good
not
for what
worse
they
than
are.
some of the like the PS1 controller.
Like
Yeah.
I've never enjoyed using them.
In terms
them
of like,
in the controller
remember
form
Tanner,
or, like,
what we just said, the
one-on-one?
pros, like the motion and the
I
easiness, the ease of use
Yeah.
in terms of like snapping and unsnapping.
There's nothing
Yeah.
they
Co-op
offer
play.
that's not on another controller.
Obviously solo. Like
They
if
work-
you're playing by
Motion, Wii.
yourself, these are probably the worst controllers ever. But when you're playing co-op, these are the
Yeah.
best.
well, and they work
I mean,
well
you can't base them
handheld.
just on co-op.
But they work well handheld too. Like when I play Switch docked or not docked, undocked, handheld, like it feels good. Like it works,
And then they're drifting. The
And
entire
even
time.
though they're small and annoying,
Yeah,
to
when you get
play
drift,
with,
it's bad.
They are
Yeah,
small
but-
and good for.
and that
taking
that
away-
will
I,
happen.
I crazily
Unlike
have
other
never had a
controllers.
drift issue with my
That's
Joy-Cons.
crazy.
I know it's very common,
Yeah,
but I have never had a single issue.
I've had 3
That's
sets
crazy.
of Joy-Con controllers, and one of them have gotten drift. So it's not like, yeah, I'm the same way. I know drift is a major issue for them, but that's why I have separate ones that's like, okay, these are the ones that I'll kind of be more rough with because I know I'm gonna get that way with like
They
party
have
games and
drift
stuff.
like, yeah.
Yeah, but then there's like ones that's like, okay, these are my Zelda controllers. Like I'm not gonna use these for anything else except for like single player games that I'm playing lightly and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think they'd go middle B because it sounds
I don't
like
know.
three of
Taking
us
that
agree on
into account, taking the drift into account, there's nothing redeeming about them. Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. I can take them apart and let someone play with me. But they're gonna have the worst experience playing with me because it's got drift and it's the tiny experience and they're trying to press the triggers. And
These
they're
little
like,
baby
the triggers
trigger
are
buttons.
tiny.
Yeah,
They're like the
miniature.
freaking volume buttons on my phone. I'm like,
Yeah, they are straight up.
no,
Yeah,
I will
sure.
stand on this hill. They are horrible. I hate Joy-Cons.
They're really bad.
I understand where you're coming
For some
from,
things,
but
really good for
unfortunately,
others.
3v1. So
No.
middle B.
Okay, now we could rank them separately though.
I don't think they deserve to be ranked separately.
I'm just kidding.
I
Yeah,
think they're-
it's the same.
It's
thing,
like the same
literally.
thing either way.
That's the point of the thing is that you can detach it and stuff like that. so-
Otherwise, we'd have to. Yeah, that's why it's called the Switch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let's go to the last controller, and arguably
Does
the
it
best
really even
controller.
matter? I know where Connor's gonna put it. So.
no.
The GameCube controller, baby. Let's
Nostalgia-wise,
friggin' go.
This controller is amazing. All right.
Not even nostalgia wise.
Not even nostalgia.
This is
a
the
good
hill. This is the
controller.
hill I will die on.
This
This
is
is
not a
a
good
great
controller.
controller. No,
Yeah.
it is. It is fantastic.
Oh, it's
And-
so good.
And here's the thing about it too. You know it's a great controller
The
when it
rubber
is
yellow
still.
joystick is horrible. I'm
You
sorry.
know it's a
I hate
great
it.
controller when it's still used today, and they still make them today.
Yeah, I agree.
You can still buy
agree.
officially licensed Nintendo GameCube controllers to this
You know what
day.
I like?
which
You know
is
what my
insane.
favorite thing about it is that the main button, the A button, is so big that it's like it's
Yeah,
right there. You
yeah.
hit it every single time, and then you know
Super
exactly like
underrated.
you got A and B right there, and then those
Okay.
X and Y's you rarely use.
Okay, I guess it depends,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. What games are you playing? Are you
Gauntlet
playing
Dark
I'll say,
games made
Gauntlet,
for?
yeah. Oh,
then
it's
yeah.
great
For
for
the-
Gauntlet.
for the
Holding
games
A,
that are
holding
on-
that big old button.
Yeah. For the games that are on GameCube, it is the best controller for the GameCube. Yeah,
Playing,
you might be like
playing
thinking,
Street
"Oh,
2
playing-
and using
Yeah.
freaking Z to activate your ultimate thing is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like, I
also
can think of
using
every
those
GameCube
using
game.
those triggers, the
triggers
triggers
are
on
great.
are really cool. They're
They're
like
cool.
they give you that feedback and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they have analog. They're analog, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
That's
they
what
are.
made them so great.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're analog. It actually like
had that
it's the
motion control.
compression with it
So
or
playing
something. you
Need for
press in.
Speed, Parker, like when you play Need for Speed Most Wanted on a GameCube, that's why it felt so good. You could accelerate.
Tanner,
with
I love the GameCube
Yeah.
controller. But like, I don't know.
Oh, good.
For the
When you
GameCube,
fully
of
think
click
course,
it,
for me,
that's like
look-
a satisfying.
but you could
click.
say the same thing
Yeah.
about the
Oh, the
NES or
clicks.
the-
I'll agree
Yeah, the clicks
about,
of the
like,
triggers
yeah, okay.
are great.
The C stick's a little small, sure. Right? It's weird that there's not two Z buttons. I can see
Yeah.
that. But it's like
Yep.
that's the only thing I can think of that's like a complaint.
Well, like the middle area, the middle empty space is so weird.
it
It's
is
like,
weird,
that should
yeah.
be filled in.
I don't know.
That's a fair
Sure.
point.
Like,
It's
why
fair.
is it like that?
I mean, these are fair
That's
points.
the pause button. That's the pause.
Yeah.
no, there's like
Like
the-
it just didn't have a
under.
select.
Yeah, no select button.
But under there's it's
You
just
need it.
empty space. Why isn't that filled in? What you gonna?
It
stick your
kinda
finger
looks
and
cool.
finger
They
that
did, they
thing?
did with
yeah,
the
you
Wave
can
Bird.
put your finger in
They
it.
did with the Wave Bird when they actually had wireless.
Yeah, true.
And that was good for when you would wrap up your controller.
They should have put the
That
Wavebird
extra
on
space
here.
was
Why is the
perfect for the
Wavebird not
wires.
on this list?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it was made for like wrapping. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was wrapping. Yeah, that's a great point. It
Those are iconic for wrapping. They're
They
perfect.
are.
Yeah.
GameCube
Yeah, they are.
controllers
Dude,
are the
it
most
keeps them right
satisfying
in there.
controllers to wrap. Without a
To
doubt.
wrap.
Yep, you
And
can do
it's
it so
so quick,
That
fast.
little
Yeah,
section.
and it fits right in there.
Yep.
Oh, it's nice and
Yeah,
tight.
yeah.
Love it.
It's so good.
Nice
Yeah,
and tight.
there's some. Here's the thing: the GameCube controller has its weird quirks. You know, it's the quirky controller. It got a weird, small, limp, little yellow C stick, which is weird.
Yeah.
One Z button. You know, one bumper or bumper
Interesting
button, which is
button layout
interesting.
for sure.
Yeah,
The
but
VA and the...
yeah, and that's true. Where the buttons are laid out is a little strange, but once you get used to it, once you master it, it's like
Nothing like
it's
it,
bliss.
man.
I honestly would say like if we didn't modernize controllers to how they are now, if we didn't like cuz obviously now we have a system. It's like where the buttons are laid out, it's like Xbox, PlayStation, you know, it's like even Switch, all the buttons are laid out in that 4 diamond, right? The face buttons anyway. And then you have the joysticks in the same place, whether it's off stick or off center,
down below.
or
Yeah,
down
offset
below,
or
offset or
whatever,
down
yeah.
below, yeah. And then there's the D-pad in that feeling spot, and then there's the triggers and bumpers. Like that is what we know as a controller now.
It's the
if-
consistency, yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't go that direction, this would be the next best option, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think this would
I
be
agree.
like, if that path never happened in the multiverse, in one of the multiverses, this is what we decided is the right controller layout, and this stuck. Granted, if there was
Well,
two
like,
bumpers,
I feel
right?
like there's something that the GameCube offers to the GameCube controller, because like playing certain like emulated games, I'll play like GameCube games like emulated with an Xbox controller, and I've been like playing, and I'm like, there's something that doesn't feel right, and it's because of the way the A and B button were located on the controller, where you could hold A and still
Yeah.
press B
At
because
the
it was like
same
right
time.
there.
Mhm.
And it's like you just can't get that with modern controllers. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you kind of can, but it's like I kind of have to like reach up.
Yeah, now you
move
have
around.
to
I
do
don't
it
know.
if like you hold X on like an Xbox controller. You'd have to hold X and then you
Right.
can tap
And then
A
press
at the same
down.
time.
Uh-huh.
But that's the only
There was
layout
something
that you
about
could
like
really.
the sizing of the buttons. It was like it was meant to be that way.
Uh-huh.
It's like it's meant to like easily be able to go A B A B
Absolutely.
A B, you know.
Yeah,
So good.
that's a great point. And that's why even in Melee, when you press A and B together, it does your smash attack, which is cool.
Yeah.
So it's like they do that on
purpose.
purpose because they know it's like easy to just press right in between both of them and you press both those buttons.
Yeah.
But where would you guys vote this?
I mean, I'm just gonna say, are you gonna use it as your S tier? Because if not, I will.
Well, I'll let you guys know.
Well,
maybe.
before you guys use it for your S tier, personally, I would put it at the top of B. Bottom of A, actually.
Go right below
right
the
below the
Wii
Wii controller.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go below the
Right.
Wii.
Go below the Wii.
I'd say top of A for me.
Those are all good rankings, but it doesn't matter because it's going triple S, baby.
Where would you put it if you,
Yeah, I already
Send
put
it.
it there.
couldn't
Send
put it
it.
at Triple S, Connor?
Top
At
of
the
A.
top of A. I guess, yeah. That was
Top of A, yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, I mean,
If you couldn't
Okay.
put it at the highest possible rank.
yeah.
Where'd you
What's
put it?
next? Yeah.
Well, and
The
I,
second highest.
to be fair though, it will be interesting if we actually
All right,
rank the
Tanner.
triple S now. But
Rank
The real
S's.
question.
yeah, what's the
your
final triple S?
pal?
If you want one, you don't have to pick one. If you don't think one
360
deserves it.
controller. 360.
I figured you'd do
Boo.
that. Yeah.
I was hoping for the
360
Wii.
sucks. Yeah, the Wii deserves that.
Dang.
but the 360 controller. People forget. People are blowing on the 360. It was the best controller
It
for a
was.
long time. Until
I
this
played
one.
mean,
a lot of
but the-
hours of Modern Warfare 3 on that controller.
But the PS4 controller.
There's
was the
people that
best.
still use
Right,
it
it's
and
time.
die on that hill.
Until
Like
they made the PS5.
Steam has a thing that shows
They're not
people the
smart
controllers,
people.
and they use this one the most, and then the 360 controller.
That's crazy.
That makes sense though. They're the best.
Do you guys want to try to rank the triple S, or should we just let it be?
I think so.
All
Yes,
right,
think we
for
rank 'em.
sure.
let's do it.
Be contentious.
Okay. Should we just all agree right now? Number one's the Series X. Are we all in agreement on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't even have to.
Number one.
We don't even. I got
Congratulations, Microsoft and Xbox. What would be number two? I'm with Parker. I think the DualSense would be number two.
DualSense, easy. Come on, it's.
Switch
Yeah.
Pro, come on.
I can't agree just because I haven't used it.
But you
I
haven't
I
used
feel
the
like
Switch
even if
Pro
I have
either.
used it, I'd say Switch Pro. No, because I have used the Switch
Why?
Pro. I've used
What?
Connor's.
That's crazy.
Pro.
That's crazy.
I
So
don't
if
disagree.
you
Switch
haven't
Pro
used
is
either,
the
you're gonna
Xbox
choose-
controller.
I don't
No, I've
disagree.
used
So is
the
the
Switch Pro
DualSense.
before. No, DualSense has the joystick. I hate the
Okay.
joysticks. I hate how they do
All
that.
right, that's me versus Connor then for
No, this is.
Do it
stupid.
versus
The
Parker
DualSense
because
definitely
I'm
deserves it.
actually
Connor,
indifferent.
you
I,
said DualSense?
yeah, because I like that it has more features. I like that. I love the haptic
I
feedback.
thought you'd be a
love
pro guy.
I love the Pro, but here's the thing:
Right.
it's
Okay,
like the
I
Pro
will
is
say-
literally the Series X controller, but
listen,
not as cool.
Connor said that the DualSense feels heavy. Right?
Yeah.
I love the fact that it feels heavy. It,
It feels
feels
quality.
so quality. It feels
Yeah.
like it's
You like to be
the best.
punished while you
It is the
play?
best made controller and feeling controller.
Mm.
Like the Series X one is awesome. Like I don't know feeling wise, but
Well,
it's
that's why they
it's
charge
kinda more
$80.
it feels cheaper than
Yeah.
the PS5 one.
I think
The
that's
Series
fair.
X.
Yeah.
The PS5 feels like the most expensive controller.
It feels like what Apple
is.
would release.
It is the most expensive.
You know what I mean?
It is.
But it's like
But-
Parker brings up a good point though. It's like
Have you ever held a Elite controller? 'Cause that's probably what it feels like to hold a dual.
it's weird they didn't include like Elite controllers and
price.
stuff like that on this.
But they're not the same. Literally, the Series X and the PS5 controller are like $10 apart.
These controllers work as like the consumer level controllers. They didn't really include like the Elite and like all these special edition ones.
Yeah.
But
To me, DualSense, even though I've never used it, it just hits me as the type of controller that you don't buy multiple of because of its price. It's kind of like the way
I
gamepad-
bought
What?
multiple of it because I
Yeah,
got
you
one
did.
for
Oh, yeah.
$25.
I bought one because I got the
Well,
Spider-Man
and
edition because I'm a
even
sucker.
the quality though, because like it's just a bigger, heavier, nicer controller. You know what I mean?
I don't
It's
see
not
a
like
reason
an
for
ex-
owning two, unless you're wanting to. I will say it does help
That's the
with
thing.
charging.
You don't need to
because
you
the
only
charging
need one
is
because
sucks
most
on it.
PlayStation games are
terrible.
so.
So you could
they're-
have
I
one charger
guarantee
and grab it.
you, almost every single human being that owns an Xbox controller owns more than one.
Yeah.
It's because the way they're made,
Or more
and they're
than
just
eight.
like
They're more
compatible,
accessible.
They're just
accessible
cheaper,
for sure.
they're-
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they're backwards
no one
compatible
owns
too.
multiple
But
dual
Tanner, we're
senses.
not arguing Xbox versus PlayStation. We're arguing PlayStation versus Nintendo.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and that's another thing too, though. I will
But
say,
Connor even said it.
X-
Connor said that the Pro controller is literally the Xbox controller, which means
but
No,
it's
it's
not as
not,
cool.
though.
But the
It
thing
is
is, though, is
not.
it's not as good, and it's not as universal and accessible, like you're saying. The Series X controller. Another reason why it's number one is because it's backwards compatible. You can use that thing on the base Xbox One, the original Xbox One,
Right.
which is awesome, all the way through the Series X, and going forward, probably forever. They'll probably just continue letting you use them. You can use your Xbox One controllers on the Series
It's the-
X.
only controller, right? Like, there's
That's cross.
Pro doesn't do that. Neither does PlayStation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Wow.
It's cool that they do that. But
Right now, I'm grabbing the. Hold on.
it's hefty.
It just
Parker's right.
feels so
Yeah.
good. It
It's a
feels
nice
so
controller.
good. All the buttons are so like
Yeah.
they just feel nice and clean compared to the Series X. Like it's obviously nice to hold and stuff. It's a lot more worn this one, but
This is my comparison.
it's like more plasticky and more.
Versus the Xbox controller is amazing too. It's more consumer. It's more, consumer level and accessible. But
It
the
is
PS5
crazy
controller is
actually.
like,
It feels heavier.
it's got
really
that
does.
the je ne sais quoi, as they say,
Je ne sais quoi. The pizzazz.
the pizzazz. I don't care. Hazen
Well,
and Parker,
you and
Hazen and
Hazen,
Parker
I
can,
don't care.
can
Let's put the
You and
PS5
Hasten
controller.
have to
in,
do
I
the
don't care.
big
yeah do the thingy.
Well, no. How about this?
Ooh.
It's me and Parker's choices. So let's do me and Parker.
Yeah, do it.
Well, yeah, that's what we were
Okay,
saying.
ready? Connor, you count
Oh.
it down.
Okay, one,
oh,
two,
I see what you're
three,
saying. I was
go.
like, huh?
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah!
Oh!
That
Whoa.
Best
deserves
two
it.
out of three.
Look at
Wait,
that.
Best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3. Hey,
Finally,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
me and Parker won
Yeah,
one.
yeah. No, this is for S tier. Best 2 out
No.
of 3. Come on.
We didn't do it for any of the other ones.
This is for
Uh,
S tier. It's different.
Okay, but here's the thing. Now we got to rank GameCube and 360 in their order. I think do we all agree that they're both below
Hold
the
up,
top 3?
Because I said
Yeah.
360 is above DualSense.
Okay, you're the only one I think that thinks that though.
Jason, come on.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
DualSense is a great controller. I think the Pro is better, but
Yeah, they're both great. I mean, they're in their triple S for a reason. Okay, who votes that GameCube is above the 360 controller?
Huh?
Let's go.
Parker, you were just saying the GameCube. You
The
didn't like the
360
GameCube
controller.
controller.
Every time I use it, it feels okay.
It's because
but-
you're using
okay, the
our
though,
GameCube
is-
controllers, which have like syrup and like tape on them and stuff. You gotta use a good one.
They're
not fair.
disgusting. No, that's how they all are, and we know it.
But
Like,
the
if you use a
360 controller,
good
every
360
time I
controller,
use it,
oh.
it just feels so sticky,
Grimy.
and like,
Exactly.
especially
That's what I'm
compared
saying.
to
You're not
the-
using a good one.
And
Let me
there's
go
there's-
piss on your
there's
syrup
tape-
and then
yeah.
tell me you gotta use it.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna go
sorry.
eat
the
syrup
battery
on
pack
that.
is
I'm gonna be
taped
honest with
up.
you. Okay, this is without the D-pad on the 360 is the worst D-pad we ever had. It is horrible. No, it is horrible. That
Okay, yeah,
D-pad
I guess
sucks.
Yeah.
That
They
D-pad
did
Yeah.
is very
Oh,
bad.
good point. Yeah,
They
the
did the-
360
they did the
D-pad is
circular D-pad.
awful. Yeah, that
Compared
thing
to
Yeah,
any
sucks.
of
that
the
is true. Why
D-pads
did they do
in
that?
S tier, yeah, or even A.
Yeah,
Honestly, any
360
of the D-pads in here, literally the 360 has the worst.
Is the worst. Yeah, you're right.
Out of
It-
all
What
of
about
well,
the Steam
on here.
controller?
actually,
Okay, besides the Logitech and Steam one.
and the Switch. The Switch it's literally just buttons.
Oh yeah. it's just
Yeah, that's not.
buttons.
Yeah.
It's not even a D-pad. I guess technically, I guess it's still better. I'd still rather have that
Okay,
than
I can
the
agree on the
360.
D-pad.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
See,
Does that
boom.
finalize it then?
That's cool.
That finalizes it.
That's
So,
stupid.
so our triple S
They didn't do rock,
category.
paper, scissors.
It did. We didn't matter. It was 3 versus 1.
You lose.
Oh, I lose.
Triple S from the bottom to the top. We have the 360 controller, the GameCube controller, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the DualSense, and then the Series X controllers are #1 controller of all time.
Ooh,
That's exactly how I would rank it.
I hate this.
Except
list.
although I think the Wii controller deserves above the PS4, personally. But
I think
I would
they're
agree.
yeah, they're I don't know. They're both
Oh,
good.
that's 2v2. Rock, paper, scissors.
Didn't we already do that? That's how we got to this point.
Oh, I won, Parker. I beat Parker, so it goes above.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on controllers, guys?
what?
Nope.
Tara's like, what?
Yeah.
Final thoughts on controllers?
I
What are
didn't
you
say
talking
what.
about? Someone did, I thought.
What's happening?
Parker saying what?
Oh, Parker did.
Parker saying what's happening, and we're just sitting here.
Yeah, Parker's. Where am I?
We're sitting here. We're sitting here, and Parker's like, "What?
What happened?
Huh?
What's happening?
Well, because I can't.
Where?
What?
Where
Dude,
have I
everyone's
appeared?
freezing.
Yeah.
Everyone's freezing for me.
It'd be
Alright.
interesting to revisit this list and put in like the Elite controllers and all that stuff because I think that
Or
would
the
mix
new
up
controllers
and
for
the
the
new
new
the
consoles
next
in the future.
console.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine they're gonna be pretty similar, but
Truly amazing that we were able to make a thing we thought was going to be quick into
This
almost 2
always
hours.
happens. This always happens. Always.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for joining us. Let us know what controllers you would rank in Triple S, and we'll see you guys next time.
NES to surf tire.
Bye.
Goodbye.